Hey, this is Ross Bain, the role-playing public radio. We're playing Trail of Cthulhu. Melissa's running this game.
Yes, I am.
I'm so excited. I don't know what this is called either.
Huh?
What the adventure?
Mystery of Brighton Lodge.
Mystery of Brighton Lodge. Nice. All right.
So, the first scene, you guys are all gathering together at Brighton Lodge. You have all come here to attend a lecture series from your favorite author, Maxwell Hamilton. He is a murder mystery author that has been writing for the last decade or so, and all of you are absolutely smitten with his work. And a few of you have paid the extra money because you have extra money to come here and spend the weekend with him. But one of you, Miss Lemon, actually won this trip because you clearly don't have the money yourself on the secretary's salary, but your boss actually paid your trip here as a valued employee. So that is why you are here. So all of you are gathering in the salon. It is the evening.
Question.
Yes.
These murders, in these murder mysteries, could they be said to be horrible? Horrible murders?
If you want to.
Oh.
Okay. By the way, British accents are optional. You can attempt if you want. I will not be attempting.
Yeah, it's 1930s UK.
It is.
What do you know? Have you chosen an exact year?
It is 1932. It is August of 1932, and you guys are at Brighton Lodge. Brighton is in East Sussex.
Yeah.
It is a vacation town, lots of family vacationers, and there's a big range of, who is here in terms of rich people, poor people, etc. This is during a boom of something called holiday camps, which were giant, pre-put together
Holiday camps?
That's exactly what it sounds like. But in 1932, it was a relatively new thing. So families were finally able to afford to go on vacation, and this is one of the popular spots.
Oh, and for the listeners, I already took a photo of it, and I'll try to put it up out there. But there is a cork board on a stand by the table with names and photos and little pins that we can make. Like, it's going to be great.
Ross is really excited about the cork board. Okay, so you guys are all gathering in the salon because you've been given an agenda, and the first thing on your agenda for your weekend with Mr. Hamilton is that he's going to be doing an introductory lecture in the salon at 8 p.m. immediately after dinner, and so you are all making your way there and greeting each other, and we'll have some introductions. Bill, if you want to start first.
This is Bill. I'm playing Ethan Hastings, stand-up guy. My description is friendly, eager, and a bit naive, and my source of stability is cricket.
Seriously? Wow. Can we see your photo?
Yes.
Melissa got photos for the pre-gens. Oh, nice. Very respectable looking writer.
Yes, indeed. Writer? No, simply reader. I don't pretend to such flights of art. It's quite beyond me. Yes, just follow the matches myself. Do love his books, though. Cracking good yarns.
Oh, man.
That was very exciting.
All right, I am Miss Beatrice Lemon. I am a secretary, and I am hardworking, focused, detail-oriented, and an avid reader.
And Jason Brown, I'm playing Captain Samuel Morris, a former military captain turned gentleman.
Nice.
Non-Britisher.
Simon Bright Baker. A writer.
Ace reporter?
No, that's my cousin. He's out in California. I wish him well. I've just been there. I am an amateur mystery writer, always looking for someone to read my manuscript. I think I can do it just as well as Mr. Hamilton someday.
I can't believe you would say that out loud.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are all milling about and having your drinks after dinner, etc., and greeting each other, talking about the latest book. Huh? Or you can just unplug it and turn. It'll be fine.
The filter?
It's fine.
The fishes.
Probably fine.
Either way.
Just unplug it.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys are all milling about, Mrs. Jameson, who is the owner of the lodge, comes bustling in, and she looks very nervous and concerned, and asks you all to please sit down and be quiet for a moment. She has a bit of news that she needs to share with you, and once you all get settled, she tells you that this lecture has to be canceled.
What's this then?
She has some news from the authorities that Mr. Hamilton has been taken into custody.
Well, I say.
And after she recovers herself, she explains to you that late last night, there was an unfortunate incident here at the lodge, and she can't believe it herself. But one of the girls that works here at Brighton Lodge was found dead. And Mr. Hamilton evidently has been taken in by the police as their main suspect. And as such, the lecture series has been indefinitely postponed. And she asks you all to please stay in the area because the police are asking that everyone that was going to be here for the lecture series would remain for questioning in the morning. So that is what she tells you. What do you guys do?
I'll put that on me.
Yes.
I'll put this over here.
Anywhere will do.
Yeah. Until we figure it out where to put her. Clearly, she did it.
It must be her.
Yes, that's that's going to be my MO as
Everyone did it.
Whoever has a name, whoever you wrote a name
anyone?
and put a photo to, like that's suspect.
Is there anyone whose name is Red Herring?
No, but that would have been a good one.
Scooby-Doo kids.
Okay, so before Mrs. Jameson leaves, would anyone like to ask her any questions?
Where did this happen? You said this happened in the lodge?
In the lodge, yes, sir. This is. I can't believe it myself, but yes, her body was found here in the lodge.
Oh.
I say, what, she was found dead? They established by what means? Was this natural causes?
Oh, sir, I really don't think that natural causes are in question. It was most definitely not natural. There's nothing natural about being found the way she was.
There, dear lady. There.
Thank you.
Buck up, stiff up a lip and all.
Of course.
Why did we? Well, I haven't seen any police here all day.
Well, they've come and gone, but they're coming back in the morning. They promised me they would be here immediately after breakfast to question everyone, which is why I know it's an imposition, and I'm sorry, but I cannot refund your money. But they all ask that you stay here until after breakfast for questioning. In fact, they're going to meet you here at 9 a.m.
What time is it right now?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Okay. So I have to say that. So wait, she died last night, and we are only finding out about this now?
Well, you know how police business is. They told me not to say anything to anyone until they told me I could. And
Until you couldn't give a refund, is what you mean.
Sir, I do not know what you are implying. This is really a terrible time for all of us.
Well, it just seems very odd that this would be kept under wraps so long. And
It really was not my choice.
well, whose choice was it?
Chief Constable Shimply. He was very adamant about how I must conduct this, and he said that I could not tell anyone other than the people that already knew. Obviously, you know, the poor maid that found her already knew, but other than that, we could not tell anyone until right now.
The maid, you say?
Yes?
Does she have a name?
Lydia. Yes, poor Lydia is the one that found her.
Oh, my.
Yes, gave the girl quite a shock.
Must have been very
Are
difficult.
we the only people for this lecture? I thought there would be more anyway.
No, just the four of you.
Okay.
It was quite an exclusive thing.
Yes.
Ross?
Yes, me who found the body. Clearly trying to throw them off. Perhaps working in cahoots? Is there ribbon? We can see if we could put a tie there. That's
Yes, there is more ribbon.
Yeah.
We'll get the ribbon.
Assess honesty for core for 0 point spend. Is she withholding anything, or is she being honest? about it?
You get the sense that she probably knows more than she's telling you.
Okay. Well, I would need leverage. Well, I find this outrageous that we would not be told that there is a threat to all of us. If someone's been murdered here, then this place is unsafe.
Sir, true. I don't think that there's any cause for alarm in that regard. This was not a murder motivated by theft or anything like that. It was quite clear that there was something going on in the girl's life that, let's just say, you're not in danger, any kind. No one else is. And there's police that are going to be here quite frequently. There's no way that something like this would happen again.
Well, you said they're not going to be here until next morning. So, well, I just find this your vague. Your vague reassurances are very not very comforting to me at all. I believe I shall be forming a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
So, Ross, are you going to spend something?
Yes, I am. I'm just going to put a bargain to say I'll be a good customer and not raise a fuss with you if you could give me more information so I know what you're telling is true. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Well, I understand your concern, and I guess it would be fair to tell you that the girl that was killed, her name is Jill. She is one of our entertainers here. Spends her days with the lodgers and dances in the evenings. I think that it is pretty clear that it was a personal matter in her life. It was not motivated by anything beyond that, I believe.
A personal matter involving Mr. Hamilton?
You could say that. Clearly, that's what the police must assume. I mean, Jill was a special friend to Mr. Hamilton. She had a habit of, let's just say that Jill's been around for a few seasons now, and she had a habit of selecting a particular companion for the season. And in this particular season, she's been spending quite a bit of time with Mr. Hamilton. Excuse me.
So we can assume then he was a regular here.
Oh, yes. He's been coming here for a few seasons, and they hadn't been spending much time together until this particular season.
AC.
Turned it down.
Sorry. It's for the listeners. You guys could make sense too, since you're new. If you wanted to figure out something, if she has more information, interpersonal abilities are good for this kind of situation. If you wanted to scare her, you could use intimidate. Swear to me, tell me what you know. Or you could use reassurance to put her at ease. Like, you're still a good lodge owner, just because one of your employees was murdered.
No big deal.
Wait, was Jill an employee, or was she? Okay, she was.
Yeah, she was. It was a normal thing in big holiday inns to have girls that just sort of wandered around and entertained the guest, and then in the evenings they would be dance partners for the single men.
Okay.
And that's what she was.
Okay. Did that job have a title, or is it just?
Oh, you could call it many things.
Employee.
Can we reveal
is
the
she-
middle?
Oh, yes. This is Miss Jill.
The maid. Can we pose the maid so she's like staring down at like scandalized by?
If you want to, attach each person to one of the ends of the strings.
Okay. I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Oh, girl.
Okay. If everyone is satisfied, I guess I will leave you to it. You can, go down and have drinks, or stay here and have whatever.
Free
you want
drinks.
to. But yeah. Oh, free drinks. That's an excellent idea. Free drinks this evening for the inconvenience of this. And then once again, please be here in the morning, no later than 9 a.m.
Have we already been shown to our rooms?
Yes. Oh, yes. You've already been checked in.
We've been here all day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You guys have been.
Oh.
At least
okay.
at sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah. You checked in. You've had dinner, etc.
When was
So
she?
you have
When
your rooms.
did she perish while we were here, or is
No, it was last night.
last night? Okay, yeah. So she was.
I mean, assumably, she was found this morning.
she was found this morning. Okay. Okay.
So I will leave you to it, and yes, Chief Inspector Shimply will be here promptly. He is a very punctual man. I suggest that you all be the same.
Of course. Do we know anything about? Have I heard that name before? Would that be an ability? I guess.
Chief Inspector Shimply?
Yeah.
He's known. He's the Chief Inspector of East Sussex and has a reputation for being a man of his business and
Punctuality.
Very
apparently.
punctual.
Yeah. Point around. Very British. Wow.
So is Kenneth under
Kenneth? Oh.
Matthews.
Yeah,
His
Kenneth
name is
Matthews.
Kenneth.
Yeah, that's his first name. You know his first name because you're related.
Is he under Chief Inspector?
Yes, he would be his assistant, like his sergeant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she bustles out and leaves you to it. You can wander about the grounds and maybe try to talk to some people, or you could go to bed and be up in the morning ready to talk to the chief inspector. Up to you.
Well, this is highly unusual. I've out of character. Would any of us met Hamilton before?
No.
Okay.
This was supposed to be like the meet and greet and the official welcome.
A writer of such talent could not be a moral reprobate. I mean, that's how art works, isn't it? High character, high artistic ability. Oh, yes. Very little names on it. I am very curious as to what is going on. Undoubtedly, I believe he is being railroaded by a romantic rival. I'm sure the newspapers would love to hear all about it.
Maybe you should write something.
Yeah, I should. Yes. Change the names around. It'd be fictional, yes. This 38 steps. No. Yeah. So I will go and look for Lydia.
I was actually also going to go look for Lydia.
Okay. Yes, perhaps. As fans of Hamilton, we should be mystery solvers ourselves. I believe.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Personally, I don't know as I would know what questions to ask of a maid, so I will leave you to that and indulge in a bit of a tipple myself. With the free drinks, what ho?
So you're off to have a drink?
Yes.
The two of you are going to go talk to the maid?
Yes.
Jason, what are you doing?
I'm going to go to bed. I'm waiting for the police.
All right, sounds good. All right. So Miss Lemon and Ross, what's your character's name? My name is Simon. That's right.
Simon Baker.
That's right. So you guys are off to try to find the maid. You find her. She is just in one of the hallways doing turn down service for the rooms, as it is that time of night. So how do you guys?
For what?
But
So how do you guys approach her?
First off, does she look particularly distraught, or
She did just find a body.
Yeah, so she does.
She's not. Yeah, she's let's
Thousand
say a little
year.
jumpier than usual.
Okay.
She looks pretty jumpy.
Yeah. Yeah. She is. So, Miss Beatrice, I believe you would
be the better person to
yes,
talk to. Yes, I agree.
I have some technical expertise in the matters, perhaps, but once she's warmed up, I'll ask the harder questions. But yes, yes, go.
A woman's touch.
Yes, a woman's touch. Yes. Thank you, voice.
Hello, Lydia.
Pardon me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop.
No, it's
you.
fine. I was lost my thoughts. That's all.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
How can I help you? Do
dear.
you need something? Is your room lacking in something?
No, I'm sorry. I hate to bring up such a terrible misfortune, but I was just wondering if you could tell me anything more about what happened. This past morning.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to be using some reassurance on her.
Okay. So how would you reassure her?
I don't want to get you in any trouble. I'm just trying to find out information.
Yes, Miss. The police they were very stern with me. They said I mustn't
Oh no,
talk
it's
to
okay.
anyone.
It's okay. My brother-in-law is actually the Sergeant Matthews. The
Oh, I met him.
Yes,
He's
yes.
a nice bloke.
Yes, he is.
Kind eyes.
He is indeed. And so
Lydia saw something we don't.
Well, you know.
Yeah, no. All right.
You'd have to
No,
you're gonna
I'll
have to
get
toss up all these images individually. Because wow.
and so I can reassure you, you will not get into any trouble.
Oh,
I'm just trying to understand what exactly happened. I'm sure.
I don't know what happened. I was just doing the routine. The morning, I go in and I wake up Miss Claire and Miss Jill. Every morning it's the same thing. I take them their tea. They're usually a bit groggy from the previous night's activities, and so I take them their tea. And this morning, I went into the room and her bed was empty. I didn't know what to think, but one does think. Anyway,
yes.
No, I found Miss Claire was there. I woke her up as usual. She was groggy, and she didn't think anything of Miss Jill being gone. And I mean, I noticed that she clearly had been there. I mean, her handbag was there. It was lying on the bed. It was open, and her shoes they were there. And someone had been there. It was obvious, and but I didn't think anything of it. One doesn't think. One doesn't think that they... Anyway.
Certainly. Sometimes people just go for a morning walk.
Yes, I didn't know what to think. But then, you see, I went to get the laundry. They always leave the laundry at the end of the hall, all the girls that work here. And I went and I got the cart, and I was pushing the cart, and I looked down, and I saw a hand... And so I moved it, and there she was. She was just looking blankly up at me, and I screamed, and I ran, and I just left the cart there. I didn't know what to do. I went straight to Mrs. Jameson, and I told her what I found, and she rang the police, and then they came, and they took the body away. They took poor Miss Jill away, and they told me not to talk to anyone, and they questioned me. They asked me so many questions, over and over, the same questions, and that's all. That's all I know.
I'm so sorry, dear. What questions did they seem to think was so important?
They asked a lot about last night, who she may have been with, what her mood was, if she had been drinking. Of course, Miss Jill, she had always been drinking. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
No, it's okay.
Speaking ill of the dead and all. But yeah, I really didn't know what to say. It wasn't my shift last night. I'm here in the mornings.
Whose shift is it? Who would have been there?
The evening maid. Sally. Yes, it would have been Sally. She's
okay.
The weekend evening maid. That's true.
So what are you doing here? Sorry, right now you just had to take Sally's place.
Because it's evening.
It is evening.
But you said she was the morning.
maid.
Oh, I'm the morning maid. The police told me I couldn't leave.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even go home to sleep.
No, they told me that I had to stay on the premises. I don't know if they're worried for my safety or not.
Did they seem concerned for your safety?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Was there anything that the police seemed particularly interested by? Were there any questions that they asked that when you answered they reacted to?
They asked a lot about who she was with last night. But once again, I couldn't tell them much. I wasn't here.
Sure.
And so all I told them is that she's been spending most of her time with Mr. Hamilton. I mean, clearly she had her eye set on him this season, as she always does. She always has a bloke in mind, and this season it was Mr. Hamilton.
And, I'm sorry, it was Jill and Miss Claire? Is that what you said?
Claire? Yes.
Was that her last name? Sorry.
No, that's her.
No?
That's one of the other.
Oh, okay.
As a roommate.
Oh.
Yes.
And Miss Claire, you said, didn't seem surprised that she wasn't there?
Correct.
Okay, Claire. Ooh.
Are they close?
Oh, very close. Best friends, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, they started together. They started the same season. They've been close for a few years now.
Okay. Well, I think I've bothered you with my questions long enough. Sorry, I'm just going to check with my colleague quickly. Mr. Baker, do you have anything that you particularly wanted to ask?
I assume Claire is still on the premises?
Oh, yes. No, none of us were allowed to leave.
Was Claire entertaining any gentlemen?
No.
No?
Whoa.
No. I mean, she did her job. Yes. Yes, but she had a tendency to spend most of her hours with older ladies and entertaining them. She didn't seem to. Well, she had an eye for one particular, but not a lodger.
Not a lodger?
No.
Who did you have an eye for?
Oh, well, lots of girls do, but well, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. It's Trevor.
Trevor.
Who's Trevor? I'm sorry.
Oh, Trevor. He's another employee.
Oh, what does he do?
He's a tennis pro here. He gives tennis lessons.
The tennis pro.
Non-Britisher.
Non-Britisher and none with a better chin.
Look at the lighting on that picture. Please make sure that you take a picture of the afterboard so they can see this tennis.
Oh yeah, no, there will be. There will be a photo of the afterboard. Especially after we move everything around, which we'll probably have. Okay.
Excuse me.
So we need to talk to Trevor. We need to talk to Claire. We need to get in Claire's room too.
Who was the other maid? Sally. Sally would be around, right?
Not right now.
Oh, she was allowed to go home, or she wasn't here.
She didn't come.
Oh.
Interesting.
So Sally, other maid. All right.
Maid.
Well, we're very concerned for everyone's safety, but I think
Actually, I really feel like I've said quite enough. I mean, Sergeant Matthews was kind, but he was also.
He's still a police officer.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So, and really, I have several other rooms I should really be going.
You needn't mention anything about this to the police if you don't feel comfortable with it. If you do, it's fine, but you needn't say anything.
Yes. Well, and I mean, things are rather hard. I mean, maids are and my poor mom, she's back home and has children, other children. I don't know. I mean. Well, I mean, you folks are clearly here to see Mr. Hamilton, and I saw the rates of that, and, well, I mean, if I've been very generous with my information.
Oh, I see what it's going.
This is what we call a telegraph of a credit rating.
Yeah. I will spin a point of credit rating and say, "Oh, well, of course, you deserve this just for the shock you've had. It's just unchristian for what happened."
That's very generous of you, very Christianly, sir.
It's very Fargo of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will spin a point of credit rating. Keep her mouth shut.
Thank you. She scurries off and goes back to her work.
Okay.
All right. So by this time, it's getting pretty late. Most people are...
Bill, were you going to go drink in the bar or something?
Yes. Just, I don't know, generally chatting with everyone. Is there anyone of interest?
Around?
Yes.
Not anyone that we've talked about so far.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Claire is conspicuously absent, but you don't know about Claire.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is the tennis pro around?
No. Trevor is not there.
His dashing chin.
I mean, Hastings is into sports, so.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll get to bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys wake up in the morning, go have breakfast, and around 9 o'clock all gather in the salon again?
Yep.
Yes. And before any of you get there, Chief Inspector Shimply is there and sitting at the... one of the tables there and has some notes spread about him, and Sergeant Matthews is hovering nearby looking rather nervous. So as you guys come in, he tells you all to sit, and is very matter of fact.
What? Yes.
What?
Yes.
And he proceeds to tell all of you that, yes, it is true that Maxwell Hamilton has been officially arrested and charged for the murder of Jill Housley, and will be questioning everyone about what they may know about their relationship, and no one is allowed to leave the premises until the authorities say that it is okay. And he begins to question you about if any of you ever met Maxwell Hamilton, what you know about his activities here, and quickly discovers that you guys don't know very much, and because none of you did meet him before. And he says, very well, that's that, and I had what I need here, I think. So I will be going unless any of you have any questions or pertinent information that I have not covered yet.
Are we still not allowed to leave?
No,
All right.
absolutely not.
Can you make any guarantees for our safety then? If there's
Yes. As of now, there are going to be, my sergeant will be handling all of that, but there will be security measures taken all over the grounds and within the lodge itself.
How did the poor girl die? Was she?
Sir, then we're not sharing that information, clearly.
Very well. I just want to make sure there's no, illicit weapons on this.
No. I will, let's just say that the autopsy is ongoing and the results are expected today.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a side note. Is Matthews staying then, or is...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he'll be going back and forth.
Okay.
Because Matthew, he'll be...
missed a career as a hand model.
He'll be reporting back and forth to Chief Inspector Shimply.
Okay, so I can probably pull him aside at some other point.
Yeah.
To talk to him.
Yep.
Yeah, work the family angle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I guess after he leaves, we should.
Yeah, I can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't think of an angle. So
yeah.
Well, I would ask all of you to remember, do not get in the way of police inquiries. These inquiries are ongoing, and I do understand that Mr. Hamilton was of the murder mystery author variety, and sometimes fans of that such get self-important ideas. So I would ask that each of you bear in mind that this is a police matter, and that interference is a criminal offense, and we will respond as such. Goodbye.
All right. Yeah. Let's ignore that.
All right, so as soon as I can get a chance, I'm going to try and pull Sergeant Matthews aside.
Okay.
Just to talk to him. Mm-hmm. Kenneth, what's happening?
I can't say much. You heard what he said. The inquiries are ongoing, and the autopsy, that's happening today. I do know that.
Yes, but why wouldn't he let us leave?
Well, Chief Inspector has a very particular way of doing things. He believes that everyone is guilty at all times of everything, and has a habit of trying
British murder mystery.
of believing that he might get more information if he keeps everyone close at hand. And, frankly, I've seen it bear out before.
But, Kenneth, as a woman on my own, it is a bit unsettling that another woman, who actually indeed even had a roommate and a friend here, was murdered. You can understand my concern.
I can.
Is this something I need to be concerned about? What happened to her exactly?
That's a point spin.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
You need to spend one of your abilities.
Do
you have any more reassurance?
Oh yeah, I've got tons of reassurance. Well, I've got tons. I've got 3.
Yeah.
That's tons.
So
you can make another spin. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's. I mean, unless flattery, we think is.
Well, it's not really flattery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a counter reassurance, like you're kind of.
You're my
come on,
brother-in-law.
yeah.
You need to take
You're
care of me.
playing the family angle, which that's probably the best way to make that work.
So reassurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you can trust me.
You know me. I'm not dangerous. I'm
Be the
concerned
chief
for
would kill
myself.
me if he knew that I was talking to you. But look. I'll be back this afternoon. We're supposed to get the results of the autopsy by 1:00. I'll be back after that. And if I think that there's any reason for you to be concerned or that there could be any potential danger, I will tell you.
So, okay, just please, if she wasn't obviously killed some way, like if it wasn't obvious that she was shot or stabbed.
No, there was nothing like that. I would say at first
strangled?
glance. I would say at first glance that would be my guess. I've never seen.
All right, so possibly the autopsy might reveal some sort of poison?
Possibly. I have no idea.
All right, just let me know.
So exciting.
I'm so concerned.
Well, understandable. I would say you to be aware of your surroundings.
What's my sister's name?
You make it up. It could be whatever you want.
All right, well, tell Margaret That I love her and that you are taking care of me.
Yes, I will do that. Well, and maybe after all of this nastiness blows over, you can come over for dinner.
Yes, and tell the children hello.
I will. Okay, he scampers off after the chief. Really, really nervous. He's super nervous. Yeah, pretty much.
Meanwhile, I'll be talking with the gentleman.
Yes.
I believe this is they might be railroading the poor man.
Yes.
You know, this woman, this Jill, had a roommate. And she was infatuated. And this roommate, Claire, was infatuated with the tennis pro, Trevor.
Dun dun dun.
Pretty sinister plot as Dennis Pro.
I wouldn't say, wouldn't surprise me with a place like this. It's like a school, you know, with all the romantic entanglements and passions and, you know, very hurt feelings, and they lose all sensibility, and soon later
It's like a Regency novel.
Yes, quite. I mean, it's rather scandalous the way they're just assuming that he's the culprit without probably a shred of proof.
Indeed. Who would expect an author of such things to commit one? They would know how impossible it is to get away with it.
Exactly, yes. He more than most, especially, and if he did, he would not be so clumsy as to leave the body in the hotel.
Indeed.
There are many better ways to get rid of a body.
Thanks,
And a laundry
Metafilter.
hamper.
Yes, you break the teeth, so there's no doubt.
Big thumbs.
Yes.
Yes. Quite.
Right. So I just what
Baker, what are you proposing?
Well, there's nothing wrong with talking, as long as we're cooped up in here like animals, and I can hear the dogs barking outside. We might as well. They say we can't investigate, but there's nothing wrong about asking talking with the other people around here. We have free drinks, by the way.
Yes. I've taken advantage already myself.
Yes. We might as well make use of it. Certainly, if you could find this Claire, I'm sure she'd have some interesting things to say.
Yes, I just might.
Yes.
Quite.
Yes, quite. So I will go off. Perhaps I should go get a tennis lesson. I have quite rusty all of a sudden. It might help relieve the tension and stress of anxiety of being in here.
And that's when the scenario took a different turn.
So I'm going to see if I can register for a tennis lesson with the tennis pro.
There's a sign-up sheet.
Yeah. Are there any openings today? Mm-hmm. All right, I will take one.
Okay.
So
you have a tennis lesson directly after lunch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I will start inconspicuously casting about for this Claire.
Okay. Well, you can find her pretty easily by asking around.
Well, but I wouldn't want to ask. That'd be unseemly.
Okay.
Where would I expect to find a person of that nature at this time of day?
Of Claire's nature?
Yes.
Yeah, she is usually out on one of the patios.
Then I shall go there myself.
Okay. All right. You find her. She's
I'll
sitting.
order up a G&T and head on.
Okay. You see her. She's sitting with some of the lodgers, a couple of older ladies, chatting, playing cards.
What are they playing?
Bridge.
Of course. Unfortunately, they do not seem to be in need of a fourth.
No.
Or are they?
They're not.
Well, then for the moment, I shall just sit and sip and observe and, yes.
Right. So if you sit and observe, you notice that the older ladies are chattering incessantly and occasionally reach over and pat her kindly on the arm, and she does look to be a bit upset. You think you see her cry at one point or another.
Fair enough, then. I will head over and gentlemanly offer my condolences. I understand it was your roommate, miss, that has met an untimely end.
Yes, poor Jill.
Yes, indeed.
It's kind of you, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I feel it's only a gentleman's duty. Do say, though, what about this business with Mr. Hamilton? It seems completely absurd.
No. Oh, I mean, absurd, you think?
Well, yes. I mean,
Well, clearly, I mean, the police must have had their reasons. They arrested him so soon.
Well, it just seems to be we've yet to hear any kind of a motive or even that he per se had an opportunity. I mean, you were her roommate. Was she hanging around with him last night?
All the time.
Well, but the night before last especially?
Yes. Absolutely. They left together.
Ah, really? About what time?
They left together probably 11?
Quite late.
Yes, quite late indeed.
Well, it's a lodge. People stay up late and
Play bridge.
play bridge until all hours of the night. Things don't really start shutting down until about 1 a.m.
Ah, yes.
Some of the older ladies giggle.
Oh, my dears. Well,
Anyway,
yeah, I'm kind of stuck at the moment.
yeah. Yeah, we need more leverage over. If we can find out what a room is, I can break in with locks.
Well, you guys can probably easily figure out whose room belongs to whom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that in the meantime while I'm waiting for the tennis bar. Actually, I'm going to look for the place where the victim was found.
Okay.
And,
The laundry cart?
huh?
The laundry cart?
She was found on the laundry cart or near the laundry cart?
In the laundry cart.
In the laundry cart. But what hallway?
Good old Shawshank
In
special.
in the hallway of her bedroom.
Okay, well, I'll look around that hallway.
Okay.
Wow.
And
I have evidence collection.
okay. So for nothing, you can see that there's the laundry cart is at the end of the hall, and there's 2 rooms on either side, and Jill's and Claire's is the first one on the right. It has their name, Jay Hasley, and so yeah, it's easy to find.
Okay. But I'll look up and down the hallway to see if there's any minute things that would have escaped casual attention. Just sort of I'm looking around I lost a penny.
The farthing.
Yeah, I lost my monocle. Yeah. So
Just you're staying in the hallway.
yeah, looking around.
You don't find anything.
Okay. Well, that's that was my guess. But the laundry carts, I guess, are fairly large. Okay. Maybe the murderer put her in there and was intending to carry her out somewhere else, but then got interrupted. So perhaps by Lydia. The murderer saw Lydia and then panicked and left before the. So that's one theory. Actually, she mentioned the laundry. Who does the laundry?
They have other maids that do the laundry.
Okay.
Yeah, the maids that clean the rooms, they just collect it and take it downstairs.
Okay. Huh. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to try to go into her room?
Well, are there police around or anybody like that?
Well, not right here. Not that you see.
Okay. I'll try her door.
It's unlocked.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I will step in, look around.
Okay.
Use evidence collection there.
Yeah, for no spend, you can kind of poke around.
Yeah.
And Jill was not a tidy girl.
Yeah.
There's clothes and stockings and shoes thrown here and there. Claire's side of the room is very neat and tidy. You see her bed and a little writing table. There are some papers there, and that's about all at first glance.
Okay. So Jill, Massey, Claire. Nothing like a diary or anything, is there?
For which one?
Either one. Jill?
Jill's you don't see.
Okay.
Claire, there's a book that's sitting on her writing table, and there's some letter writing paper next to it.
Okay. I will just read the last entry.
The last entry of her diary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sensibility?
Yeah. You're reading somebody's diary, and this is a really awkward thing for a grown man to be reading a 19-year-old girl's diary. And it is barely decipherable to you. It is a whole lot of dribble.
I got a 1. Yeah, so instead of stability, we're having sensibility.
It's sensibility. So you take 2 points of sensibility, you blush deeply, and feel a deep sense
They
of
have
wrong.
emotions and they have desires? What?
There's a few words in there that you didn't know the 19-year-old girls knew about. And really all you ascertain from that is that the suggestion that she was in love with Trevor was most definitely true.
Okay. All right. Well, I will slip out, and for now, we can always revisit it. But yes, I'm very interested in talking to Trevor, because they would probably have interacted. Maybe they had double dates, for all we know.
So, after a moment of sharing pleasantries and condolences and such, I'm going to apply some flattery and ask Claire to join me for a drink.
Oh, well, since it's her job and all, how do you flatter her?
Your poise is amazing.
Yes, you have such skill at communicating with those of other generations. I find that a fascinating ability. Conversation is underrated in today's society.
Isn't it just? All right.
Is that a full-on spend, or?
For that, no.
Okay.
Because it is her job. I mean, she's supposed to be entertaining people. So, yeah, she gets up and says, I don't really fancy a drink, though. Maybe we could just walk in the gardens for a while. I think
That
it
would
might
be
settle my
pleasant.
nerves.
I believe I'll take this one with me, but
Yeah,
nonetheless.
naturally. That's fine. Mm-hmm. So she's quiet for a few minutes, and she says, it was awfully nice of you to say what you did about Jill. Did you know her?
Unfortunately, no. I had just arrived here. This is the first time myself. But
Oh, it hardly usually mattered with Jill. She was usually the first person everybody met. One of those girls,
Vivacious? I'm afraid
That's
I
one
don't.
word for it. Let's just say that she had her way with gentlemen. They always enjoyed her company.
And she theirs?
Generally. It depended on the size of the pocketbook, if you know what I mean.
Oh. Wow.
Is that a sensibility check?
Is it?
No.
Innuendo does not qualify.
No.
I don't have any SS honesty. It goes right over my head.
He's very naive.
JC has not yet appeared. I have no idea that she's a gold digger.
Claire writes letters like Joyce did.
True. Yes, she was just set on finding herself a rich man to marry. Ever since we started here 3 years ago, that's all she could ever talk about. Every season it was one man or another. She would bounce from one to the next, and everything it was the same. In fact, I think she would have settled for being someone's mistress if the allowance was correct and the apartment was nice enough.
Well,
Best friend.
kidding. Getting all
Bladder's
girls
not
up
even in the
here.
ground yet. Let's get the daggers. I came here
Well,
to berry season, not to...
Yes, she was always on the hunt, but she was my best friend.
Oh my.
Speaking of which, I'm turning my phone on to silent now.
Sorry, I'm feeling kind of stuck. Just.
Ask him about the timeline.
Well, we know that she left around 11.
Yeah.
And the body was found the next morning. Do you happen to know, when they arrested Mr. Hamilton, had he returned to the inn, or was he at some other place?
No, he was here. They arrested him right out of his bedroom. He was hardly dressed, the poor man. Although, considering the evidence...
I'm sorry?
Well, who else could have done it?
Well, that is quite a question, I suppose. Is there a night watchman or anyone who's around during the evening that might...
No. We all saw them leave together. It was about 11, and Jill was drunk as usual. She had a habit of making a fool of herself in that way. One too many cocktails, and she'd forget herself so easily. She had no shame, poor girl.
Well,
Wait, where did they leave from?
from the inn.
From the inn. Oh, like in the bar?
Yeah, like the bar area.
Okay.
Yeah, where everybody spends the
All
evening.
right. But, so there were other people there.
Yeah.
Everybody
Did
saw Lee.
you... who else was down there that evening as they left?
Oh, everyone. All the usuals. The ladies that you just saw me with. Trevor wasn't there that evening. I
Really?
noticed. Yeah. Just all the usuals. One gentleman runs into the next, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I
Oh, begging present company, of course.
Yeah. Yes. Damn it. I had something and then it went away.
You do have a little bit of leverage on her.
What's that?
You know that she had feelings.
Yeah, I did mention that. Yeah,
Good
for
point.
Trevor.
Yeah. Yes. So you say Trevor wasn't there that evening?
No, like I said, I noticed. I usually do.
Yes. Oh, I understand. A bit of the workplace romance then?
Oh, you could call it that.
Stonewall.
Would you like to send us something?
Yes.
Cthulhu cryptography. Wait.
Wait, that won't fit.
Accounting.
I'll make it flattering. Well, I'm sure once this blows over, you'll catch his eye and all will be right.
That is just the kindest thing that anyone has said to me.
Whoa, emotions! Sensibility check.
Yes, absolutely. You must roll sensibility because she is about to get all teary on
okay.
you.
It's okay. I've dealt
You're
with
fine.
weepy broads before.
Okay. You have a teenage daughter or
Yes.
something.
What?
People often get emotional at cricket games. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. So she admits to you that she was in love with Trevor and has been for a couple of seasons now. I guess that I just always thought that one day he would wake up and get over his silly infatuation. He doesn't really love her, you know. He never did. It was just one of those things. She was just like that. She was just an insatiable flirt. And then when she would drink, it was even worse, which was all the time.
We're talking about Sally, aren't we? The evening maid.
It's a conspiracy. Everybody's in on it. And you know who's at the top? Sally.
Now, Jill, she was such a tease. She had no intention whatsoever of actually ever being in any kind of relationship with him, but she couldn't just leave off.
Well, I'm sure that must have been difficult for you. What was the depth of your feelings? And
Deep.
yes, depth indeed.
Hashtag best friends.
Yeah, but
Well, really, sir, I have to say, I'm feeling quite faint now. I think I need to lie down.
yes, absolutely.
Maybe you would be so kind as to walk me back.
I would be delighted.
Okay.
And then we do.
And then see. Okay.
Okay.
So she goes and has a lie down for a while.
Okay.
I mean, upset her delicate equilibrium.
Our humor's out of balance.
Alignment.
That's right. Yes. So about this time, it is time for your tennis instruction with the chiseled Trevor.
All right, you know what goal is actually shot to number one for this scenario?
What?
Matchmaking.
Okay, so you come down in your little white shorts and your racket and all prepared for your tennis instruction.
This guy. Yeah, I want to go for this.
Let's hit some balls around.
Okay, so Trevor is very professional. He immediately launches into this is how you hold your racket and this is your stance and
Could you show me in more detail? I'm sorry, I'm all thumbs.
no, it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
A little closer. All right, so can I make some sort of evidence collection to look at to see if he looks like he's been recently in a scuffle, like maybe I don't know, strangled somebody or something like that?
Not really sure what markings that would leave, but sure.
Well, if the victim fought back, there'd be scratches.
Okay, you could look for scratch marks.
Oh, so would that be a spin or would that be
Does he
0
appear to
point?
have anything?
That would be 0 point because he is unashamedly wearing, not much, seeing as he spends all of his time playing tennis outdoors, and you see no marks.
Okay,
He's
so
bronze Adonis.
That's right.
all right, fair enough. What about his mood? Is he? I'm very chipper and oblivious, and I will intentionally try to. So is he glum and like depressed?
He is very professional.
Okay, so he's very like cold and like distant.
Like he's not smiling a whole lot, but he is doing a good job of his job.
Okay, is he kind of like on autopilot then?
Yeah.
Okay. So just as he's serving the first time, so I said, "So what about that murder?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that a sensibility?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
So he misses. So sorry, sir. Let me try that again. He just ignores you.
Oh. Okay.
And so he says, I'll go down here and you
Okay.
should take stance and get ready now.
Okay.
And he serves one right at your face.
Ow!
Oh, sorry, sir.
I got a 4. Do I dodge?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, it's a narrow miss.
Bring the racket up just in time.
Gotta stay quick on your feet.
Yes, clearly.
Just turning into an 80s movie.
I love it.
It's called Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Except for the death bit.
Yeah, the whole murder part. Yeah.
Nobody strangles baby in a corner.
Okay, so obviously that's his sensitive spot. So no, if I keep hitting that, he'll just probably beat me senseless with the tennis racket.
Good fast.
So maybe a little more time.
That would be a sensibility roll if that happened.
Yeah. I'm not feeling so hot on those. I will. Yeah, I'll keep chatting though. I'll be talking about why I was here. Well, yeah, I guess sort of indirectly bring up. I'm just like, I was here for that workshop, and I just can't believe it. I'm just shocked. You never can understand anybody. I mean, there's always you never know. I guess it means any number of things could be lurking in other people. I mean, I'm shocked.
Someone that spends all of their time writing about murder is bound to try it out themselves sometime.
So
I'm glad I never mentioned my profession.
yeah. So assess honesty. Does he think Maxwell did it, or
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
with a
yeah. Okay.
yeah, a point spent of assess honesty,
Yeah.
you can tell like he feels deeply about this.
Okay. So he doesn't
He
feel
really
like
believes it.
He's not scared. He's angry. He's not nervous. He's just.
He has a lot of feelings, but there's a lot of anger there.
Okay. But that's not the behavior of someone who killed someone and is hoping the cops don't find him. It's the behavior of someone like, God, that, so-and-so did that.
That ass.
Yeah. I mean, that's not proof, but all right.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's... I'll kind of let it go with that and just kind of focus on the game, see if he says anything else interesting. But, yeah.
Okay. Well, so a few minutes into the game, he asks if you want to stop for a rest, and as you're standing there sipping on your lemonade, he gets a wistful look in his eye and says something along the lines of, "She really was an amazing girl. None other like her."
Oh, I'm sorry. You knew her.
Knew her? Yes, I knew her. Knew her quite well.
I'm ever so sorry. She must have sounded very close to you.
Well, I thought so. Yes.
You thought so? Yes. Did you ever meet this Maxwell? I've never met him myself.
Yes, I met him.
Sorry. What was he like?
Well, let's just say that I felt like he misinterpreted Jill's intentions quite drastically. I mean, no doubt that's why he did what he did.
Oh. How well, I mean, like, how was he just, you mean more vulgar than...
No, not vulgar, but, I mean, if you talk to anyone, I'm sure you're going to figure out that Jill was an insatiable flirt.
Yeah.
And let's just say that certain men would take that the wrong way. And I believe that Mr. Hamilton did. That he probably believed that her intentions were a bit more than they actually were, and when she rejected him, that he could not control his rage. Clearly, that must be what happened.
Was she with you then? I mean, like, romantically? Yeah.
Well, it was her job to entertain the gentleman. Those kinds of things are complicated.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, if you're asking if I was in love with her, I was quite in love with her.
Did she know that?
Yes, of course she did.
Oh. Very, 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 very tragic. So my condolences. I wish there was a damned awful thing.
I mean, really, she didn't have a choice. It was her job. And she was on thin ice anyway. She had to keep her job.
Well, was she on thin ice? It sounded like she was very popular here.
Oh, well, yes. Yes, she was quite popular. That's true.
Oh, but why would she be on thin ice then?
No, I just mean with Mrs. Jameson.
Oh, was she maybe, I don't know, jealous or something?
Jealous? No. No, I got the sense that Mrs. Jameson had asked her to do something that she didn't really want to do. But this was last season. Something about she didn't want to play along with their game.
Oh, my. That sounds rather untoward. You know what? They didn't even tell, Miss Jameson didn't even tell us that this awful crime had happened until well after we got here.
It doesn't surprise me.
She was very...
Mrs. Jameson does have her secrets.
And she was the first to say no refunds. It was very...
Yes, that sounds like her.
Very-
Brusque lady, isn't she?
Yes. But yes, has she been involved in any kind of criminal mischief? If she's been...
Criminal? Oh, I don't know about criminal.
Schemes, I mean, if it sounds...
Schemes, that's a good word for
Yeah.
it. Well, really, I don't know. Jill would just say things every once in a while. Claire, too. They'd talk about it.
Like what?
That Mrs. Jameson would ask them, they'd send them on errands for her, have to do certain things, and Jill would play along to a certain point, but sometimes she would get fed up with it and not want to, and I got the impression that Mrs. Jameson had threatened to sack her last season. Things seem to be better this season, though.
Perhaps she was playing along, I guess?
Well, that was the impression I got, that whatever it was that Mrs. Jameson wanted her to do that she wouldn't do last season, that somehow things had gotten smoothed over.
Interesting. Thank you, Trevor. It's been very enlightening. I'll be sure to... Thank you for the warning about Mrs. Jameson. She sounds quite the...
Yeah, she's an interesting lady.
Yeah.
I mean, what with the guests that come every once in a while, and I've never quite figured that one out myself.
The guests that come every once in a while?
Yes, these certain guests, they always come the same times, twice a month, on a Saturday, and they only ever use the same cabin. They never join us for dinner. They stay for an evening, and then they leave.
Are these men, women?
All women.
All women. And they stay by themselves? Younger, older?
A mix. Mostly older, though.
They stay and then they leave. Interesting.
Hotel.
Well, not here. I mean, people linger here. It's a vacation spot.
Let's just say none of them ever signed up for a tennis lesson.
Yes. Oh, excellent tennis lesson, by the way.
Yeah, they always use that same cabin.
Which one is that?
Well, it's the one down by the tree line.
Oh, okay.
Numbered.
Cabin number 4.
Cabin 4. Put that on there. Cabin 4 of Doom.
Cabin 4 of Doom.
All right.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, thank you. I will go check that out next. do. Snoop. What about you guys?
Indeed.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, what?
It would probably be a decent idea at some point for you all to get together and share your information that you're gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all get back together in hive mind
Oh, yeah.
after more or less every exchange.
Yes.
Hey guys, poison, guys.
Yeah, meet in the salon.
Yeah.
In hushed tones, of course.
Yes.
Conspiratorial.
And Miss Lemon, you notice that around 1:30, your brother-in-law is back on the premises, and he's checking in with all of his associates, and so he's back.
Has he checked in with me? He said he was going to.
No, you get the impression that he's
Avoiding me?
well, maybe.
Sure.
So if you want to track him down
Yeah.
and have a conversation with him, you could.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Oh, B, hi. I was just coming to find you. Yes.
I'm sure you were.
Yes, I've been
So-
busy. Very busy.
Tell me, Kenneth, what did you find out? What did you learn?
Well, so they did the autopsy, and well, I can't talk long. I think that
Then talk quickly.
well, I'd rather not talk at all. He passes you this.
Fair enough.
Oh, you're gonna.
Oh, God. It's
All I
an
can say, B,
envelope, too.
is that they think it was a man for sure. A woman couldn't have done it. They just couldn't. She was strangled, I tell you. The pathologist thinks that she was strangled by a man. I mean, the size of the bruises on her neck. I mean, clearly...
Man hands.
Yeah. This was the man that did it.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenneth. If you find anything else that I need to know, please let me.
Yes. The only other thing that I can tell you is Jill's room They think that someone had been looking for something.
Are you saying it was
They're on to you, Baker.
ransacked?
Not ransacked, but you know, I live with a woman. I know how a woman keeps her things, and things just didn't look right. Her handbag, it was open, and the contents were spilled over the bed, and her shoes, it wasn't like they'd been kicked off, but more like they fell off, one here, then one there, and it just didn't look right.
The other shoe never.
But Dee, I don't think it was Hamilton. It just doesn't make sense.
Why?
I don't know. You know how you get a sense about somebody? I don't think it was him. He didn't have the stomach for it. This was brutal, I tell you.
All right, thank you, Kenneth.
It's just a copper's gut, see?
Do you think that I need to be concerned for my own safety?
I would say keep a man with you.
Fair enough.
30s.
Yeah.
Hashtag sexism.
The struggle is real.
Well, I have no skills in firearms, you see.
Well,
No, Miss Beatrice Lemon has not taken any lemon. Yes.
To be fair, you can still shoot. It's just you may not hit. Also, it's Britain in the 30s. Where are we going to get a gun? Unless we club a cop over the head
Right,
with a
right.
rock.
shoot a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jason might be able to get one, but
Yeah.
probably.
Oh, yeah,
won't
that's
get
right.
one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, he gives you that. He's quite nervous, and he tells you that he doesn't think that Max did it. The only other bit of information that he gives you is that the chief is absolutely sure that it was him. Hamilton was seen leaving at 11 o'clock with Jill. Everybody saw them go, and he has no alibi afterwards. No one else saw him the rest of the evening. No one else saw Jill the rest of the evening. And the roommate told them when she was questioned that when she got to the room that Jill wasn't there, but her shoes were.
Okay.
Did no one know where they were going? I haven't thought to ask before. Like, did anyone saw them leave?
Well, yeah, apparently he was going to walk her to her room. She was quite drunk.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, so he
so
scurries off and is quite nervous.
He scurries off, being nervous. And I find you guys, and I tell you that the cause of death for Miss Halsey is asphyxiation due to arrest of circulation in a part due to compression, which is contributed to a violent assault because of Miss Halsey's fragility, being a woman and all.
Hashtag sexism.
Hashtag 30s.
Okay, so yeah, I can pass it around. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm sure
Guys
this
wanna look at
doesn't
that?
say the Commonwealth of Boston or Massachusetts.
Whoops. Yeah.
Oh, did you
when
not
they say-
change that one?
When they say
the top,
when
you
they
can't
say
change it.
Boston,
Oh, I thought you could.
Massachusetts, what they mean is
Essex.
Well,
Brighton, East Essex.
Yeah.
Sussex,
the
sorry.
authentic period documents templates we could find were from the H.P. Lovecraft Historical
Sure,
Society.
Just all Miskatonic this,
Yeah.
Miskatonic that. Done.
Boston, New York, etc., etc.
Fair enough. No, kudos. This
Yeah, so as things are right now, you guys could go have a look at the cabin, although that would probably require some stealth and planning, because there are policemen wandering the grounds occasionally. You know, the security's not too tight, but they are around.
Yeah.
That would probably be most advisable to try that at night. It's probably about 4 o'clock-ish now. You could also go back and try to talk to Claire if you think that...
well, now we have something on her.
Yeah.
We have
The
these
errands.
tasks, yeah. We could also look into Miss Jamison, because it sounds like she has a criminal background.
Yeah.
My theory is, well, it's something that this whole errand thing, it sounds like maybe some sort of smuggling or, you know.
Something untoward
snookery,
anyway.
Yeah.
Really, all you have on Miss Jameson at the moment, though, is the word of Trevor the tennis pro.
Yeah.
So,
Who is obviously biased,
Yes.
to say the least. And maybe...
Claire being sent out on these things too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So
Yeah.
the fact that they're women means that there may be more lodges involved. So like it could be. The simplest thing I can think of is like the lodges are stealing shit from their customers and dropping in other lodges to fence and get rid of it. Steal the jewels from this lodge, bring it over to this lodge, and someone else picks it up, and then someone fences it in yet another city.
It's incredibly complicated.
Well,
Look at her though; she's shifty looking.
she's just one cog in a scheme. A gangster sets it up and then just says, "You send your girl to pick this up, stay at this hotel, drop it off."
Right.
That's. What do you have a theory?
No.
Yeah. Let's see. Contributor, yeah. Secondary or fragility. All right. Yes, we could talk to Jameson. We could ask our other employees. In fact, we could track down Sally and just ask how Mrs. Jameson is as an employee.
You guys are informed that Sally will not be coming back to work during the investigation, that they're keeping all of the same staff, that no one is leaving.
Okay.
And that they are rotating through the staff and they're being taken down to the station for further questioning.
Okay.
They're trying to build their evidence against
We are an island
Mr.
unto
Happy.
the world.
That's right.
All right.
The foggy mist encircles the
Yeah, we're in
the
Silent
lodge.
Hill. So we could talk to Lydia about Miss Jameson as an employer. Maybe she would know something.
I'll probably check back in on Claire since I've already made a connection
definitely.
I was thinking I might go try and play bridge with some old ladies. Because Claire tends to gravitate towards playing bridge with old ladies.
I'll go find Lydia since I'm the one who paid for her last time. Or paid, bribed her last time.
To be the sugar daddy.
Basically, this should be good for one more clue, right? So I'll find her as she's doing her work,
Lydia?
Yeah, Lydia.
Okay.
I just talked to Trevor, the tennis pro, Lydia, and he had some interesting things to say about Miss Jameson.
He's an interesting man.
Yes.
Such a chin.
He said he said I should be wary of Miss Jameson for her.
Wary?
She had these schemes, as he put it.
I don't know about schemes, sir.
He made it sound that he was having Claire and Jill perform some sort of odd errands and whatnot. They were seem very tired of this, and that Jill was on the outs last season.
Oh well, I don't know much about that, sir. I mean, I came on last season, and I do remember some talk of maybe Miss Jill wouldn't be here this year, but then she's back, and things seem to be okay.
Oh, okay. Probably misunderstanding. I mean, he's a tennis pro,
Right,
so,
right.
I just wanted to make sure that I'm just feeling very paranoid, I have to mention, with all this.
Well, with all of this going on, sir, it's understandable.
Yes. Very good, very good. Can keep up, stiff up and live and all that, so.
Yes, you too.
All right.
And also with you.
Well, I've got free drink, so.
Things are very stiff for you.
Especially my liver. All right.
Right.
So, you could go.
Yeah, I believe I will.
Where are you
she out
going?
playing bridge again? Or,
Claire? You want to talk to Claire again? No, she has been taken to the station for questioning. She's not around.
Huh? Well, fine. I will pursue that right now then.
Act 2.
Yeah.
So, dusk is upon you. It is dinner time.
Evening and morning the next day.
No. It's dinner. Everyone's gathering for dinner, either down on the patio. They serve either in the dining room or on the patio. So,
Okay.
So, are you guys interested in trying to find cabin number 4?
I thought we already did. Well, no, we're getting to it. Yes, definitely.
Right. Okay.
We know where it is, yeah?
We just, you said
Generally.
Okay. Well, I will go and find that next.
Okay.
Just touring the grounds, trying to get. I'm getting cabin fever.
Constitution.
Yes.
Capital idea, old chap.
I have cabin fever, don't you know? I've been being kept here against my will. It's fine.
Okay, so it's not hard to find. You find it's down by the trees. It's very set apart from anywhere else. There's the other cabins are not nearby. There's heavy drapes. You can try to look in the window, but you can't see anything because the drapes are pulled.
Okay.
Doors locked.
Locksmith, how long would it take to open that lock?
with nothing, you can tell by looking at it that there's more than one lock. There's like the doorknob and a deadbolt and maybe a chain. So it would take a minute.
Well, how would they? I mean, so someone has to be inside, because otherwise
The chain's pulled.
Yeah.
If the chain is pulled.
Is the chain pulled? Can I tell from no?
Not until the other two
Yeah.
locks are undone.
Okay.
Right.
Well, how long would it take to get those 2 locks?
Assuming that only 2 of them are locked, if there's nobody inside, it would probably take a good 15 minutes to get them both jimmied open.
Okay.
10 to 15.
I was thinking of coming along anyway. Between the two of us, I'll watch.
Yeah, I think
Yes, you watch. I will smith that.
Smith
Yes,
that lock.
indeed.
Yes. Is that a spend?
You want to do that right now in broad daylight?
Okay, no, I'll wait.
I thought it was evening.
Well, it's dusk. It's like
it's
dinner
dusk.
time.
Okay.
We rewind
Before
it a little
dinner,
bit.
I will set my newspaper and read nearby, basically seeing if anyone comes and goes.
Okay. Yeah, you see that...
Oh wait, you know what? Actually, first though, while I'm walking around the cabin, I will look at the grass and see if there are any beaten paths, like between the cabin and the actual trees. See if like someone goes out to.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
All right. Just making sure.
It does look like that people walk straight from the... like, they're not coming from the lodge to the cabin.
Oh, really?
They're coming from... like where the cars would drop them to the cabin. They're coming straight there.
Or they're going from the cabin to the cars.
Yeah. Vice versa.
Dun dun dun.
Your jewelry smuggling idea
Well,
gains merit.
Yep. So, something along those lines.
An elaborate system to defraud the working class of England,
Well, they do what they can.
like national health.
But yeah, you see that police sergeants are wandering around. They probably come by maybe once every 5 minutes, and
Okay.
they're paying attention, but they're not like
Well, I'm just reading my newspaper.
yeah, they're having a cigarette and talking to each other sometimes, but they are walking by.
Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye on it until dinner,
Okay.
just to see if anybody comes or goes.
Okay.
Also, take a look at the parking lot, see if there's anybody watching the lodge or anything like that.
Okay. You see, if you're just sitting there watching,
Yeah.
the only thing that you see happen is that Miss Jameson comes down the path. She waves to one of the policemen and lets herself into the cabin. She's in there for maybe a minute, not very long, and then lets herself back out. You do see her lock 2 locks and put the key in her pocket and back to the lodge.
Okay. So
There's a werewolf in there.
that's clearly.
She just fed him his dinner.
Yeah.
Wrong
she had the steak
England
under her.
scenario. Wrong England
Yeah, no,
scenario.
you're close enough that you can see that the thing that she was holding was not very big. It looked like a piece of paper in an envelope sized.
Okay. 1932. Yeah. Wouldn't be many Nazi spies yet. Well, in the late 30s there would be.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. I will go to dinner when it's time and report my findings and say we must go there. Clearly, she's a conspirator.
Indeed, of some sort.
Yes.
So everybody's on board
She's reporting to Sally.
Yes.
trying to get into the cabin.
Sally.
Has Claire
Who is
returned,
Sally?
has Claire returned
No.
by dinner?
Nope. Nope, she's not there.
We could check her room again.
Smells like a second murder.
Surely she's not in her room.
We could before dinner. We
No,
could
she was.
stop.
She's to the police.
Right.
That's what they.
Yeah,
Who
she's
said
with
that?
the
Was
police.
that one of the police? Or was that Matthew?
Yeah, how did we know that?
You could check with Sergeant Matthews, and he would confirm that she was just taken in for questioning.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sounds
She's
good.
not
the
being
police are
Unless
killing
it's a
people. We're
complete
screwed.
conspiracy. Yeah, I mean,
No, none of that.
the police are all deep ones. Go.
Kenneth would never do that to Margaret.
To Margaret. Who's
Margaret.
Margaret's my sister.
Yeah, but we're concerned about what they may be doing to Claire.
Yeah.
We can take a potty
Not to
break.
your sister.
I'm fine. I'm just.
Well, I'm not.
Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. We'll be right back.
Melissa's had an attack.
And we're back. Back in the Brighton Lodge. Actually, I'd heard of Brighton beforehand, mainly because Fatboy Slim came from there.
It's a real place.
Yeah, I know it's a real place, but I don't know every name of every city in the UK.
Neither
It's
do
like,
I.
I knew that one because Fatboy Slim came from there.
Yeah.
At least I hope he did. So I remember hearing his name in connection with Brighton. So, UK listeners, I'm sorry.
Yeah. UK listeners, I am sorry. I am sure I have royally messed
This
this up
is
more
not
than
the
once.
worst that we have
This
ever
is actually probably the best. Like, in terms of,
If you could throw in some somewhat realistic depictions of drug use, we could redeem a lot of RPPR sins right now.
Unfortunately, that is not in this game.
yeah, we're not.
That
Gonna,
would be a different one.
Table flip.
LSD has literally not been invented yet.
No, we cannot do that scene. Okay, so you guys are about ready to try to enter the cabin.
Yes.
Are you all going, or some of you going, or what would you like
We definitely need him.
to do? You're coming.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
she's up
Captain
to
Morris will be there.
This is unjust that we have to do that, and but I think we should all go because even if you don't go, you could be nearby as a lookout / distraction in case police are coming nearby. I have locksmith. Does anyone else?
I do.
I have stealth, shadowing, and conceal.
Well,
Okay. Yeah, I have those things.
Which all could be useful at some point here.
Okay, so one of us can pick the lock, and the other person is. I also have evidence collection and forensics, so I could.
Well, considering that there are 2 locks that will probably take you
Yeah.
about 10 or 15 minutes,
Right.
and the police are coming by every
5.
5 minutes or so, you guys will have to do group
Yeah.
stealth to
Something.
make sure.
Yeah.
Unless you want to try to distract the police or do something else.
I will inveigle a policeman.
If you want to. You do not have to do that, but
Black Ops. No,
basically, you're going to have to do something about the
Yeah.
police that are making their rounds. It is dark by this point. They do have flashlights and are
Did they
shining
get them
them
from
around.
Trevor?
Electric torches.
Trevor clearly has flashlights.
Yes,
To like
Staring
scan
at
their
them
collection.
this is the original selfie. He practiced that pose in the mirror.
Wow. It's impressive he can hold the camera.
No.
Those cameras are big back
Like-
then.
Alas, spoiler.
Well, it's from the side, so it's like.
Yeah, I know, it's good. So you guys are going to have to do something about the police coming by to
And he's not
give
squinting,
Ross or
staring into
whoever is picking the lock.
Well, I saw
time.
their patrol route. I mean, is it just are both doors in view of their route, or is there one that has its?
They are not taking the same route every
Okay.
single time, so sometimes they pass by the front, sometimes they just kind of go by
Okay.
the side. But if one was looking, they could see. Now, there's no light in the cabin or on the porch of the cabin.
Yeah.
So with a good stealth check, they may not even notice you as long as you don't make a lot of noise or
Sure.
draw attention to yourself.
Okay, yeah, but we have our own electric torches too, of course.
I would assume so.
They're standard. They're literally standard.
Standard issue.
As has been previously discussed.
Yeah.
Yes. Miss Lemon would definitely have one because she's insanely prepared.
Well, let's have the
Jason would
distraction
definitely
as a
have
backup in case the group stealth fails.
Okay. Well, I'll probably just hang out nearer to their position, off into the trees, and yeah, if things start to go sideways, I'll just
Yeah.
be a generally naive British, somewhat upperclassman, and go up and offer the policeman a belt, and
Yeah.
Okay.
inveigle him with conversation about the status of the plague in Cairo.
Okay, so you guys have to, first of all, get from the lodge to the cabin. So are you going to go first and position yourself, or how are you going to handle it?
Yes, I suppose I'll go out for an evening stroll. Yes,
Okay, so you're taking your constitution about the grounds.
indeed, constitutional. If you don't mind.
Right. And the rest of you, what are you going to do?
We will
Are you going to leisurely stroll or make
Yeah.
a mad dash? Or
leisurely stroll and then make a mad dash when we think no one is looking
Okay.
into the bushes.
All right, so you don't have to make stealth until you're hanging out on the porch and
Okay.
a little bit of time has gone by. So you're just hanging out on the grounds. You're not coming near the cabin.
Well, the cabin is somewhat near woods, yes. And
by
so
the
we
tree.
know generally which direction the policeman's circuit is taking them.
Right. They're not walking the exact same path every time. It's more milling about.
So I will casually allow myself to mill about in
Okay.
that area of the trees. I
All right.
find the woods at night to be inspirational. Yes.
Okay.
Well, maybe you just make a sense trouble check if you think that the cop's going to see us before we get out or something like that. In which case you could stumble out and intercept. So, but yeah, we'll do a group stealth. Three
Group
of us.
stealth, yeah.
So I'll spend one.
So you guys can contribute. He'll roll, but you guys can all contribute points to the group stealth check. And if you pass, then you all pass. You don't have to make them individually.
Because it's like we're all looking out and like, okay,
You're moving
You
as a
have
group.
so much stealth.
I do.
Yeah, you guys are super stealthy. So
I only have
Spend what
2
you
stealth.
like.
Yes, 6.
oh, okay, all right.
So,
I have 5.
formerly of India, huh?
Right.
India, Afghanistan, and of course the Maginot Line.
Quite.
All right. So Renee, are you going to contribute any, or let the boys do it? Okay. All right.
How many
so,
are you going to spend?
I think 2.
2 would be perfect.
Okay.
So I'm spending 1, so that'd be
all right,
giving
so
me plus 3.
3.
And I needed it.
A 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Next
So
time, Renee can roll.
Yeah. So you guys make it to the porch.
Yeah.
And you
I
know
will spin
you're
that
not.
blacksmith.
Yeah, you're. You don't see anybody around yet. Are you just going to go straight to the lock? Or are you going to listen and see if anybody's inside? Or
I'll put my ear to the door and listen
okay.
for a moment. You know, if you say, is that sense trouble?
Yeah, sense trouble.
All right, I will spend 1.
Is that group sense trouble?
The
No,
individual.
he's the one.
No sense trouble.
Unless you guys are like all putting your ear to the door, which I guess you can.
I have
But
5
one-
sense trouble.
Go all
Yeah.
3 stooges on it.
Well, let him
alright.
do it.
6.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, it is dead silent inside, and
Okay.
you are pretty reassured that there is nobody in there. There's no lights on, you hear nothing, you feel pretty confident.
Okay, I'll start working on the lock.
Okay.
You two, maybe one of you could look in the windows
Okay.
a little bit, or look around. And yeah, just let me know if somebody's.
I think I'll just be watching to see if policemen are coming kind of by so I can be like, freeze.
Okay, alright, so Bill, make a sense trouble.
Sure. I'll spend my 2. I suppose it makes sense to only have 2.
You're not, a while.
6.
Okay, so you see some flashlights coming around the edge of the trees. There's 2.
Oh, do they typically walk in groups?
Well, they are right now. There's 2 of them. You hear them chatting to each other. You see the glow of a cigarette. And they're just chatting about cricket, as a matter of fact.
Well,
About the latest game. And they are walking directly towards the cabin.
I say there, gents.
Oh, hello.
Could I trouble one of you for a light? I seem to have misplaced my lighter.
Oh, sure. I hand you the lighter.
Thank you very much. I couldn't help but hear your conversation about the latest match.
Oh, did you watch it?
Oh yes, with great enjoyment.
It was fantastic,
Blah
wasn't it?
blah blah. Crickets.
blah,
Blah blah.
Things that we don't know what to talk about.
Man shooting a burley on the fall.
Things that are much more complicated than I took the time to investigate.
The badger shall fall in the next.
It's 4 p.m. Greenwich Standard Time. This is
Right.
the BBC World Service.
So one
On
of them.
sport.
So one of them is really enthusiastic about talking with you about cricket. The other says, "Excuse me, gents, must go right over here as call nature."
Oh,
So he wanders over towards the tree line, which is right next to the cabin, and is undoing his belt.
if I look properly away.
Okay, he's going right over by the cabin. At this point, Renee, give me a sense trouble.
Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
What, you spent 2? Is that reasonable?
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, it means you only fail a normal test on a 1.
Okay.
So you got 4.
Okay,
So as long as it's not super hard, you're
So
fine. Or
luckily,
harder than normal.
he's generally a loud person, and so you hear the conversation happening and peek around the corner in time to see this guy wandering towards you, looking about. He's about to use the facilities of the tree. So to
Is that a
speak.
sensibility check for her?
Yeah, absolutely. This man is
What do I
in
need to
the
roll?
midst of unbuckling his belt, which is not suitable for present company at
am I
all.
doing?
You're just rolling straight. If you want to add to it, you need to spend points from stability.
Oh, right, stability.
But
that's
you're
what it is.
rolling to.
Yeah,
Stability,
sensibility.
sure. I'll go ahead and do 2.
Okay. You're probably not likely to lose more than
Okay.
2 if you fail.
So 1 is fine.
That's
If
fine.
at all.
Yeah,
You could just
don't
roll
have to.
straight.
I
Yeah.
have 12.
Well, I would just I would save that for like if
Bigger
you
shots.
immerse.
All right.
Yeah.
6.
You're
I'm fine. I didn't
so
spend
you
anything.
blush slightly and look away in time before you see his
But I do tell them
undergarments.
to, like,
Right. So,
don't make any noise.
all right. So you guys do what?
I can stop and pick up, right? I don't have to like. Yeah, I will stop.
No harm in stopping.
You just sit there with the tension wrench and the spade. And just kinda...
Okay, so you guys stay on the porch and are just not moving? Like, don't breathe a muscle?
Yeah, don't breathe my. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't breathe a muscle.
Whatever.
I try not to breathe any muscles, actually.
You know,
I
exactly
breathe
what I
air,
meant.
personally.
Move a muscle.
I think that's a new CrossFit fad.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay, so
muscles do it all.
you guys hold very still,
slow.
and you had a decent stealth check, so I won't make you roll it again. And he takes care of his business and zips up and
And after that, I'm
walks
going
back.
to invite the. I must say, gents, capital job you all are doing here. I wonder if I might share a bit of a belt with you.
Oh, well,
Pass the flask around.
sir, we're on duty. So.
Oh, but surely, I mean, a chilly night like this, it's good for the health.
Well, if you insist.
Oh, I certainly do.
Okay,
yeah.
so they
Going to use the
take
Kimatite method.
Yeah,
No.
sip off the flask, and
Yeah.
so are you just going to
I'm
continue
just-
to stand there?
I'm just trying to, make as much time as
Crickety crickets.
possible.
Yeah. We'll keep walking. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they will stand there and drink with you all night if
You
you,
can
let
drink
them.
and walk. Yeah.
Well, I don't know where I'm walking to. Like,
That is entirely
the
up
point
to you.
is to keep them
No, you
inveigled
can
until-
lead them. You have the booze. You could.
That's
lead them.
true. I
where you
will
gonna go?
try to generally lead them, like, circuitously
They happily
around.
follow.
Yeah.
They won't go into the lodge because that's not what they're supposed to be doing. But they will stay on the grounds as long as you stay on the grounds. They will
Yep.
happily walk with you for hours.
Okay, I'll keep doing that.
You are a shepherd unto your people.
Yeah.
I imagine them at this point just like looking up at Bill and like batting their eyelashes. Adoringly.
You have to fly. Okay, so about that time, Ross, you successfully pick the lock.
Yay.
And the door swings open, and it is pitch dark inside.
Okay. I'll hand over the flashlight to direct the beam. Make sure it doesn't. Are the curtains drawn?
The curtains are completely drawn.
Okay, so it's
And
okay.
ordered.
Well, I mean, yes, we'll motion everyone to get in, close the door, lock it behind us, so we.
Okay, you do lock it behind you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one though, so we can
Just
get
one?
out
Okay.
quickly. Because locking it behind is going to be a bitch. Yeah. Hopefully they use the other door.
What other door?
Yeah. You said there was 2 doors. There's the front and back door, right? Oh, there's only one.
There's only one.
Okay.
Are there windows and things around? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's 4
We could
windows.
we could unlock a window and climb out of it and close it. That way we could.
Less likely to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Well, not yet. Like first, we're going to search the place.
Okay.
Would this be a spin for anything, like evidence collection? Or?
You saw her go in
with-
with like paper and
Right.
Yeah, something small. so
With no spend whatsoever, you can look around the room, and what you see is a wooden table with 8 chairs sitting around it. There's a large desk that has writing utensils, stationery sitting on top of it, and a lamp. There's also 2 filing cabinets sitting side by side, they're rather large ones.
Are they locked?
I don't know, are you going to go check?
Yes.
Okay, so one is not, and one is.
what's in the one that's not locked?
Okay, so you start rifling through the unlocked one, and what you were seeing, you have a hard time making sense of, but they seem to be files about people, all women. Every single one is a woman, and as you're looking at the names, some of the names seem real, some of them don't. Some seem like aliases. There's one called the Red Biddy.
What?
And she does not have a picture with her profile. You see a file on Mrs. Jameson. That does use her real name. You see a file on Jill. You see a file on Claire. And as you look through these files, you see mention of donations, financial donations. Some people, there's only a list of financial donations. Some people, there's a list of what looks like events, dates, places, activities. You see some notations about some protests, and lots and lots of mentions of the National Trust. You see the donations all seem to be given to the National Trust. And there's notes about the way the donations were made, who they were given to, the way they were dropped off. Excuse me. And as you look a little closer, you can tell that some of the younger females in their files, there's a notation of being a junior member. And they seem to be given assignments or tasks, and there's little notations about how well they do with these tasks. And usually the tasks are something along the lines of delivering a donation, or securing a donation, or gathering evidence.
Have you ever heard of the National Trust? Sorry.
No.
Yeah. No, the National Trust is, you know what that is. Everybody in England knows what that is. They're one of the government agencies that one of their primary purposes is to protect landmarks, national landmarks, historical sites, things like that.
So junior members, though, that doesn't make sense. So it's just a civic organ. Is it actual governmental or is it private?
All you can tell is that these people seem to be all involved in some kind of activities of the same purpose.
Red pity.
They're doing the same kinds of activities, and all of the files in this particular cabinet seem to be about members or donors.
Okay, so they're spying on the National Trust. Would be
No, they're donating to the National Trust.
Well, the dossiers are about them, right? So, like, whoever's compiling these dossiers. Wait, are these like internal memo of the National Trust, or this is someone or compiling?
Well, there's a file about Mrs. Jameson. There's a file about Jill and Claire.
Okay.
And it does not seem to be evidence of wrongdoing. It's a record of activities.
Okay.
Like this group's activities.
Well, I mean, does it have their letterhead on it? Is it like, this is a National Trust document?
No, no.
Okay, so it's someone else gathering information on the National Trust and who's in it, right?
That is one assumption.
Okay, one assumption. All right. Interesting. What does it say about, read Jill, Claire's, and Jameson's files.
Some of it is just basic information about date of birth, how long they've been a part of the organization, and all of the little notations are pretty cryptic about what activities they were doing. You see several notes about things that they took part in where they made the donation to the trust. You know, they went with a group to do that. Or they were sent on assignment to gather information about a particular person, and there's always a notation about whether they were successful or not.
Oh, wait a minute. What if this is just a code or a cipher? Like, they're trying to get information about them, and the National Trust is a substitution for something else. Or
they're using it as wash for money laundering.
Yeah.
It would be helpful if we knew it was in the locked cabinet.
I'll get to work on the lock cabinet.
Do you have locksmith?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Snap.
But if you spend that point, the sucker pops open real fast. No problem whatsoever. And where the previous cabinet seemed to be all about women, this one is almost entirely men. And some of them are not men at all, but the names of corporations. And over and over you see mention of land development, plans to demolish particular historical landmarks, and all of them, it seems to be notations about their business activities, and it has to do with real estate and land development. And as you rifle around, is someone going to spend evidence collection?
Does anybody else have it? Is it just me?
I do not.
Nothing I do. Where is it?
Technical abilities?
Nope.
I will spend it.
Okay. So, Ross, you are poking around in the desk drawers, and you find a handwritten, it looks a rather quickly scribbled note, and that is what it says.
For the listeners at home, projects. Number 1, Mr. F. Jill getting the evidence. It says Mr. F. Yeah.
Mr. F.
Yeah.
It's coincidence, I promise.
Number 2, Mr. James with a check mark. Number 3, Morgan Development Company need more evidence. Number 4, Stanley's protest scheduled. Number 5, raise more funds for wetlands. Number 6, question mark. Number 7, profit. No, there's no number 7. That was maybe zero. So, Mr.
Number
F.
7, profit.
No, that was a joke. That is no.
We don't have a Mr. F unless Trevor.
Yeah, do I know Trevor's last name?
Trevor's last name does not begin with an F.
Okay.
It's Smith.
And there's no Mr. James, is there? Okay, so we don't know. And have I heard of Morgan Development Company?
Yeah, you've heard of them vaguely. You see them in the newspaper. They're breaking ground on a new project in one of the neighboring tourist towns.
So they're blackmailing real estate developers that are trying to develop on national heritage sites, and then the money they extort from them, they're contributing to the National Trust.
Wow. Stanley's?
Yeah, once again, it rings a bell as a big business developer out of London that seems to be investing a lot of time and money in some of the outlying tourist towns.
Are there any wetlands nearby?
No.
The British Isles.
Yeah.
There's always wetlands nearby.
Where are the moors?
Yeah, okay. I was thinking more like, the
I'm
Everglades
sorry.
or something.
It says moops.
Okay, if you want to look at this, I'll pin it to the board. That was probably the note that you handed. So we need to. Well, we will. Once we've gone through all these, we can get out of here before we get caught. So lock the doors from the inside, then open the window. We'll just leave the window unlocked and just hope they don't notice.
We will shut it though.
Yeah, of course. But we'll go
But you can't lock a window from the outside, so.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing we can be done, but that hopefully won't get noticed for a while. Mm-hmm. And also gives us way back in if we need to go in.
As long as it hasn't been discovered.
As long as it hasn't been discovered.
Yeah.
So, projects. Mr. F. Jill getting the evidence. Yeah, we'll leave everything the way it is. So, who did Jill?
Alright, so you guys are exiting out the window?
Yeah, we'll be looking out the window, peeking out the window through the curtain.
Okay, so someone roll sense trouble?
Or
all of you can? Any of you can?
Yeah, I guess we all can.
You don't have to.
I will spin.
I have.
Okay, so with a 4, you guys can see that the way is relatively clear. There is one flashlight, but it's pretty far away. And if you listen closely, you can still hear your compatriot talking loudly of cricket in that direction.
For hours.
For hours and hours. And so you can make the assumption that those particular officers are well distracted.
Okay. We will
Slightly inebriated.
sneak out. Is that another stealth check to get out?
No,
Okay.
because there's nobody around except
All right.
for them.
All
Your
right, we go.
compatriot took care of them.
Yay.
Well done.
Thanks, Bill. Teamwork.
Crisis averted.
Cricket!
Okay,
This has
so
begun to become my recurring role in investigative games. And the screen.
Yeah. So you guys make it back to the lodge with your newly acquired list of projects.
What time is
It is late at this point. You guys probably went down there right around 9 o'clock, I would guess. So by the time you get back, it's probably closer to 10. So everybody.
Here things don't end around here
Right.
until 1.
So everybody is either in the lounge or already in bed.
Okay. How hard is it to look at the guest register to see if there are any F's or James as guests here?
Well, the register is kept at the front desk. There is usually a bellman and a receptionist nearby.
Can't just rifle through it. Let me look and see who's here. That would probably take a little more tact.
Right.
Um,
Interpersonal skills,
Did
Ross.
you say
can
that
do
you
this.
were looking for someone, Mr.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? Mr.
Yeah. Well, someone Jill would have been talking to. Jill getting the evidence. Of course, we could go back to their... Well, no, Claire would be there. Probably.
Maybe. Has Claire returned?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's awfully late at this point. You guys can't... You don't have a way of telling.
Well, we can
Except
go
for
to
to
the
go into the
bar.
lounge.
Yeah, you could check in the lounge. and
Yeah,
see
we'll
if
check
she's
the
still there.
lounge, see who's
She's
there.
not there.
Okay. Anyone else that we know?
No, it's mostly lodgers. The bartender's there. A couple of waiters. that you haven't
Bill,
met.
by this point, or
Has
sorry,
met
Hastings.
everyone.
He knows the bartender pretty well.
But are any of her friends from the cribbage game? I mean, I understand that they're older ladies and may turn in fairly early, but some of them may go for a late
night brandy.
I was figuring gin. But.
Okay. Yes. No. There's two of them in there.
I say there, ladies. Has Jill returned this evening? Or Jill? Claire.
Wrong
I'm sorry.
one.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Awkward.
Claire. Returned?
Well, I had heard she had went down to speak with the officials.
Oh, that's where she was. We were looking for her for a bridge game.
Yes.
Care for a drink. Have a drink with us.
Oh, would love to.
Yes. Have a seat.
Yes,
I will roll sensibility in the morning for my hangover, because it's coming.
And for your grabby hands that you're experiencing.
No.
If you hang out too much longer, it'll happen. Okay. So,
Is that really sensibility, or is... I feel
you
like
just
that's
enjoying
probably
yourself?
expected. Like...
Yeah, that would be sensibility.
Older women have desires? What is
For
this
a man
madness?
of your naivete, you would
Fair
roll
enough.
sensibility for getting groped by an old
All
woman.
right.
So do you sit down and have a drink with them?
Sure.
Okay. They're happy to drink. Drinking.
Roll health?
I'll just continue to speak to them about Claire.
Okay. Lovely
Nice
girl.
girl, yes.
Decent bridge player. Oh, really, June, be honest. Okay, terrible bridge player, but she's coming
No,
along.
but she's
We're
young.
teaching her.
She's learning,
Right.
I'm sure. It's an
Right.
acquired skill.
It is. Constantly mooning over that boy. I think it's the distraction that keeps her from really progressing.
Yes, that Trevor.
Yes. We'll put a chin on that one. Now you roll sensibility.
For discussion of the chin. Just, okay. I fail.
You fail, you only take one. You blush slightly.
Oh my, such discussion. I absent-mindedly pat my own chin and think, what could this mean about a person?
Feel self-conscious?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Right.
And a first one.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. I will spend flattery to compliment their fine. From what I was observing this afternoon, you two seem, why, if I might be so bold, nearly card sharps at your level of skill.
Oh, would you fancy a game?
Yes, I will start up with them, and yeah.
Okay. All right. So they talk pretty freely. Most of the information you've heard before. No major surprises. Jill had a big reputation for drinking way too much. She was spending most of her time with Mr. Hamilton this year. That is not who she was spending her time with
Yes, who
last
was
year.
it previously? Who else had been her beaux?
There's that fellow. He's here again. What is his name, Juno? I don't remember. Oh, but the man with his mustache. Of course, everyone has a mustache nowadays. No, the sharp-looking fellow, always in a suit, carries that briefcase around like he's somebody very important. And Mr. No, I can't remember. Must be the brandy.
Oh, right. I will spend a point of credit rating to order another round.
Okay.
No, you're not.
It's all free. That's
Okay.
Yeah. So you get another round of drinks.
Yeah,
it's
I will
fine.
make a show of ordering the next round.
Okay, so getting them more drunk is probably not going to help them remember things.
Oh,
That he's not streetwise, you see.
Okay.
yeah.
Like, what are you what are you going for here?
I don't know. Fine, then I'll go up to the bar and get a round of coffee
Oh, okay.
to try to sober them up a bit.
Okay, all right.
I'll continue.
Coffee? This is hardly the time for coffee.
Well, I was just trying to jog your memories.
Oh, what are you implying about our memories? We're sharpest tacks around here.
Indeed you are. But it is of a late hour, and we are all a bit in our cups, to be a bit antique.
In our cups.
Yes.
What a wonderful thing.
I'm at a loss.
You need to ask a question. What do you want to know?
The guy's name that they're having trouble coming up with.
Okay, do you have information that might jog their memory?
Oh.
Maybe it starts with a particular letter.
Well, yeah.
Stanley.
Was it? I believe I met a Mr. Franklin.
Franklin. Rings a bell. No, that's not quite right, though.
Phillips? Perhaps? But it sounds the same.
Phillips. No, that's not it either.
Well, I'm sorry, I just can't really... Like, I can just metagame and make the jump, but...
But you know that it starts with an
That
F.
it starts with an F, but that seems a little on the nose if it turns out to actually be that. Like, that's a really weird...
Hey, Roger! One of them yells to the... one of the waiters passing by. What's that fellow that always carries that bloody briefcase around? The one with the silly mustache that he's always waggling about.
Mustache.
Are you referring to Mr. Fortescue? Fortescue. Oh, that's the chap! Absolutely. Mr. Fortescue.
Guess that.
That's the one.
Yeah! It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Does he have a card?
He does have There you go. Yes, that's the chappie. All last year, Jill was just smitten with him, or his money, if you know what I mean.
Oh my!
But yes, this season for the first few weeks, she chatted with him.
Probably belongs over there in place of Sally and the Red Biddy.
They're not on there. They're just on the board.
They're on the board.
But yeah, that's the chap, Mr. Fortescue. Quite full of himself. Not sure what his business is, but always yammering on about it. I tend to tune him out.
Well,
Not really in the same circles, if you know.
I suppose I could understand that. Not so much here for the good times, as it were.
No, it's more of the see and be seen sort, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and his business has some kind of interest in the area. I think that's why he's here so often.
Well, being a man of some business myself, I understand the needs must, as it were.
Needs must.
Yes. But still.
All right, sir. Well,
it's vacation time.
Yes.
It has been a lovely evening.
I must say that it would be most obliged if you would let us to bed now.
Yes, I will. I will certainly see you ladies to your rooms.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so they waddle up the stairs and you make it without incident.
My bottom remains unpinched.
That's right. All right. Then there is evening and there is morning.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, does anybody else
Want
want
to do anything else tonight?
No, I mean, we got the name, so yeah.
Okay.
After I scope out the bar and see him go to work, I'll be like, yeah, no, this is well in hand.
He's got that covered.
Yeah, I will go down and take notes of the next mystery novel where Mr. Sam Hamilton is accused of murder by Sally. Yeah. So basically, rewriting the events.
That's the ticket.
Yeah, that's the ticket. So yeah, taking notes and then going to sleep.
Okay. All right. You guys doing anything before bed? All right. So you wake up in the morning. What's your first move?
Breakfast. Look around, see if Claire's here. Anyway.
Claire is back.
Okay.
She seems no worse for the wear, although still a bit jumpy and puffy around the eyes, so to speak. But she seems to be going about her usual routine, talking to the old ladies.
I'll find Hastings to pump him, find out what the old ladies knew.
Certainly share.
Yeah.
I say, Baker, did you know anything about the fascination women have for chins?
Startling, really.
Yeah, well, historically speaking, the Greco-Romans started this quite some time ago. You look at the statuary.
Should I read my manuscript?
Yeah. I have a whole chapter about it. All right, so we know Mr. Fortescue, the land developer. So Jill was getting the evidence. So if he's around, we need to get dirt on him.
You don't see him there at breakfast.
Okay.
But he is there.
Yes. And Miss Jameson's thing, let's see here. What about Mr. James? Would he be here too? Do we know him?
Nope.
Okay.
No one seems to know the Mr. James.
Okay. Alright, so we have to focus on him. We could pump Lydia. Lydia would know if he's here or not, so we could ask her.
It's true.
That'd probably be another bribe, though, so...
She does seem to
she's getting
like
way
the greasy
expensive.
palms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I already bribed her last time. You probably have deeper pockets than I do.
Somebody else is starting to bribe the maid.
Yeah. Or how about you guys?
I'm fine. I can bribe her.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got that B-roll.
All right. So yeah, Jace, why don't you go and find her?
Okay.
Find out what she knows about Mr. Fortescue. At least where he is. And
Okay, so you find her once again in one of the hallways, bustling about her business.
Yes. Dear woman, come here. I must ask you a favor.
Sir?
Yeah,
Sir, can I help you?
Come now. It's going to be fun.
Have I done something wrong?
Not at all.
Okay.
I hear you are a woman who can provide information.
Roll sensibility. This is a very uncomfortable conversation for you. What?
I lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, -2.
Okay.
She is looking at you in a way that you're not used to be looked at by young girls.
I'm looking for Mr. Fortescue. What can you tell me about this man?
Oh, Mr. F.
Mr.
Well, I mean, my mind's a bit rusty this morning. Might if I had a bit of extra to maybe pop down to the pub later, might help.
Fine.
I think Lydia's a bit too posh. Lydia is. Oh, if I have a bit, pop down to the pub.
Okay, so I go with money.
Oh, okay. So she, pretends like it didn't happen and slips it in her pocket. Well, actually, strangest thing happened. I can't be sure, but I could swear, not on my mum or anything, but I would swear that I saw someone quite of his likeness coming down the hall from Jill's room this morning. Ooh. Looked a bit of a rush, too. Still had that silly briefcase that he carries about. That's how I know it was him. I didn't see his face. He was already past me when I came out of the room. But I mean, there's nowhere. And why would he be on that floor anyway? It's only employees that are on that floor.
Have you ever seen him going up this way before?
Now that you mention it, not this season, not this season, but last. I was still new then, a bit naive.
No taking to going down to the pub,
Remarkably self-aware.
Uh-huh.
I'll sell it at a high price.
But yep, that's all I know. And she walks back into the room and goes about her business, coins
Well,
tinkling.
would she at least know what room he's staying at?
Probably.
Yeah.
Being the maid and all.
Yeah. She tells you that he is on the first floor in room 12. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
So we can either approach Fortescue directly or sneak into his room and
For
steal
his
shit.
place. Yeah.
Or we could
could do both.
We could try and steal his briefcase, which I'd be willing to take that sensibility.
Anyone has filch
I do. I have 3 whole points of it.
for a briefcase?
But it
Well,
has
remember
plot.
that you guys have not seen him here this morning.
Okay.
Like, he does not seem to be at the lodge currently.
Okay.
Lydia saw him this morning, though.
Yeah, leaving Jill's room.
Leaving.
Yes.
Yeah, but now
Now he's gone.
Okay, so go to room 12. Are there windows like on the room, or like are they?
I have a point of locksmith left.
Yeah.
There's
Consider just knocking.
there's no windows that would be easily accessible.
Well, that I can
On the
see and
first
see
floor.
if he's there or not.
Oh, that you could see into? Yeah. If you stood in one of the gardens, you could probably peer in inconspicuously and be able to tell.
I say.
Yeah, I'll do that just to see if anyone's in the room or not. So.
Okay. It looks totally empty.
Okay.
He's not there.
Go walk around back into the hallway. And
Okay.
Try the door with Bill. His
Right.
facing the others. So.
The door is definitely locked.
Okay.
The door is now definitely unlocked.
Okay, so you're spending a point of locksmith.
Credit card. Right through the
You
door.
guys are on the first floor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, there's people around. So how are you dealing with that? Would you like to roll stealth? Are
Yeah.
you going to, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so you guys
we would
can,
like to
I'll
do
spend another
that.
point of stealth.
Spin 2.
Okay, so that's 3. Does somebody else want to roll?
Sure.
So I rolled 1 last.
Yeah, don't let. All right, yeah, no
So
problem.
good.
Suddenly the place is deserted. There's no one around anywhere.
There's waiting for a lull in
So
traffic.
you easily get in, and you can look around pretty quickly and see that nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. The conspicuous briefcase is not here.
Is there an,
What else is in the room?
yeah.
You see a suitcase. It has clothes. There's some papers on his writing table, and the papers are about his business. You see some letterhead that says Fortescue Development. Everything looks kind of like normal correspondence. There are some mentions of the Brighton plans. Several different ones. As you look through, you can see the names of places like farms. There's one about Oberus Farm that apparently they've recently taken holdings of. There's a few other names of sites that they have recently acquired, and you can tell that the plan is to build more vacation camps, holiday camps.
Okay.
Check his trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, check his trash too. Is there any paper that looks like he wrote something on it, then tore something off the notepad or I don't even know if they would have notepads like we'd understand. Like, you know how you write something
Sure.
and you could like then take a pencil rubbing on it to see what was written on it.
Yeah.
Do you see? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you don't actually have to try that hard. If you're looking around at the desk and the writing things, there is something in the trash can.
Okay.
And so since you can just pick it up, you do.
Yeah.
And what you see there is that it looks like you don't have to spend anything.
use hand.
I spend a
Use
bunch of
hand
pen.
on.
do I hand?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not evidence collection because it's right there, and you can see it. And so
Simple search.
And we specifically asked for it. Yeah.
right. And all that it says is it looks like he started a letter and then didn't finish it. And it says to, it looks like he was writing to his lawyer because there's a line at the top that has some kind of law firm name.
Esquire.
Right,
Solicitor.
Esquire. Solicitor.
Solicitor.
Yes.
Or barrister.
No.
Yeah. That would be a solicitor.
Yeah.
So it looks like he
Civil
he
law
was.
solicitors, I'm pretty sure.
It looks like he was writing a note to his solicitor, and then either changed his mind, or got interrupted, or did something, and just ripped it up, or crumpled it up, and threw it away.
What is a solicitor's name? What's the firm name?
The red
Firm
deity.
name?
Yeah.
You can make it up.
Bartleby and Jones.
Yeah.
Bartleby.
It's totally, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it says, "My dear Bartleby," and that's about it.
And the response just comes back and says, I would prefer not to.
But yeah, the address that he had written at the top was to the law firm, which is located in London.
Yeah.
What is it dated?
Yeah.
When is it dated?
This morning.
Today? This morning. What? I mean, how far did he get into the letter? Like, does it
Like just the yeah.
just the heading. Basically.
My idea says.
It looked like he was in a rush, and yeah,
Decided to change.
changed his mind.
Okay. So it looks like he's trying. Maybe like, oh, I'll just go talk to him directly. So
Fuck all this.
head for the exits and see if he's trying. Yeah, hopefully, the police intercept him before he gets out of here.
Yep.
Okay, you guys roll sense trouble.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was
I will
going to say
spend one.
0 point evidence collection.
There's nothing else there.
Okay.
The room is really, really clean.
6.
Also 6.
Okay, you guys hear someone coming.
Quick, under the bed.
Okay. Is that what you guys do?
Is it time to open the window and close it to get out?
You
Climb?
don't know.
Okay.
You hear some talking really nearby. It's a man's voice, and he's walking quickly, but that's all you can tell.
Come on.
Hide in the wardrobe.
Yeah, all right, we'll hide. We'll go all Nancy Drew on this.
Okay, so you are spending what?
Hastings in
I
the
will
case of the
spend-
missing.
All right, so roll stealth.
Okay.
Or do we each have to roll separately, or is this a group effort?
Are you hiding in the same place? Or are you both under the bed?
Well, how many other places are there to hide in the room?
There would be the closet.
Yeah.
There would also be the bathroom.
Trapped in the closet. That's where I'm.
But hey,
Yeah.
you're in, post World War I Britain and you're hiding in a wardrobe.
Yeah.
This could turn into a fantasy game like that.
Bring out the fifth ed books. All right. I will spend 2 on my stealth to hide in the closet.
Okay, so you're hiding separately.
Spend
You're
2
under
to
the
hide
bed.
under the bed.
All right.
Is it just us 2, or did you guys follow
we
us?
didn't go.
Okay, so Bill fails.
Oh, man.
Damn it, Bill.
Russ.
I spent 2, by the way. I got an 8. I am the 9.
Okay, all right. Perfect.
I'm like
So,
up on the ceiling.
Mr. Fortescue busts into the room, and he's in a hurry, and he's talking to someone over his shoulder. And Bill, you are so surprised by the entry that your toe slips out the back, and you realize that it happened and quickly pull it back. You're not sure if he saw you because he suddenly stops. He looks around. You hear him breathing heavily, and
I'll roll my sensibility.
because you might be about to be caught under another man's bed, and you lose 3. Yes, because the next thing you know, a mustached face is kneeling down,
at you.
looking under the bed. He explodes in anger. Dear man, what the hell are you doing under my bed?
So loud. Sir, might I ask you to lower your voice?
What the hell are you doing under my
I
bed?
must apologize.
For what? For being on what?
I want to spend a point of reassurance.
Okay.
I had far too much last night.
I should
and
say
woke
so.
up this
You reek like a
morning.
distillery.
So, I
But
mean,
under my bed?
I'm afraid.
Anyway, man, the room was locked. Who let you in here? Did that maid Lydia, that little snipe? I told her.
I found it unlocked, I suppose. I'm rather confused, actually. I tried to find the way back to my own room, but I couldn't.
What are you spending?
Reassurance.
Reassurance. that this is in no way. I'm trying to reassure him that this is
Okay.
a thing that could actually happen.
My good man, this is not the last of this. You get the hell out of here, and I'll be talking to Mrs. Jameson. I will have you thrown out of this place forthwith. This kind of place should not put up with the kind of nonsense of drunkards like you. You're lucky I don't have you arrested. This is breaking and entering, I say.
Okay, so the reassurance didn't work, but I'll go ahead and work
Well,
it.
it sounds like
kind of.
Okay.
It actually
He's not
kind
going
of
to
did.
deck you.
Yeah, he's not attacking you. He doesn't he thinks
Yeah.
you're just a drunk and you're not here to spy on.
But he's
Right.
really put out by it.
Can I spend a point of credit rating to convince him that I'm not drunk? I am drunk, but I'm, of means enough that I'm not the sort of person that gets drunk. I just get eccentric.
No.
No
He
one's
found
that
you
well
under
off.
his bed.
I
not
don't
even
know.
on the
It's
bed.
30s era Britain.
Like, on the bed.
Do you have intimidation?
Maybe.
No.
That would be a good
So,
one.
Ross, what are you doing right now?
What? How would that be a good one?
Are you just observing all of this going on and staying hidden in the closet?
I would say so. I don't really think I can sneak out the back while this is going.
Okay, all right. So,
Blame it on the old ladies. They drunk me under the table.
okay, so Mr. Fortescue sets down his briefcase by the chair. He grabs you by the collar and rushes you out the door.
Acquiesce to this
And takes you to the
circumstance.
front desk and demands to speak to Mrs. Jameson and demands that someone call the authorities immediately.
Wait, he left his briefcase there?
Yeah, he did. did.
And
Whoa. Well, after they leave, I will pop out. I will. Thanks, Bill.
Once again, causing the distraction.
I will look in that briefcase.
okay, so what are you doing?
I just open it up, look, see what's in
It's
it.
locked.
Oh, dang it. I don't have any points of locksmith left.
Okay. You could always just take it.
He left the door open, didn't he?
You did leave the door open.
Oh, yeah. That's a sensibility check, though, isn't it?
Yes.
This is worth it.
You kneel there for a second, considering your
Oh,
options.
God. What am I doing?
You lose 2 points because you reassure yourself that this is what a true sleuth would do.
That's what Maxwell would have wanted.
That's what Maxwell would have done, and after all, there was the girl's life taken in the midst of this, and so you where do you go? Like, where do you go right now?
I will go to your room. Yeah, you're a respectable military officer.
Okay, so Bill, you're still being drug up in front of Mrs. Jameson, and she calms him down, promises that things will be taken care of, that you will be dealt with, although she doesn't specify how. And she says, "I will call the authorities. In fact, I believe
They're already here.
they're already here. We'll have a conversation, but I assure you, this man meant no harm. He's well."
It was
he's
the
a-
women. It was
Yes.
the bridge.
Let's
women.
just say that he was hanging out with June and Mabel, and let's leave it at that. And Mr. Fortescue looks somewhat mollified and goes tromping back to his room.
He had to roll his own sensibility check.
This has been a rough day for Mr. Fortescue.
It's gonna get rougher.
Okay, so he gets back to his room and slams the door. And what are you guys going to do?
Well, I'm gone. I'm long gone. I'm
Right,
in
so you're hibernating in his room?
Yeah. We're trying to figure out how to get this
I'm
briefcase open.
hanging out in like the lounge area, kind of watching for Claire because I want to talk to her, but I don't want to be like really obvious about it. So whenever there's an opportunity,
Okay, she's around, but she's rarely alone.
sure. Well, I'm just gonna kind of like start to join like whatever group because
Like
she
maybe
hangs out
join
with
the
women,
bridge players.
right?
Or, yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Okay, Bill, what are you doing?
I'm going to go have a Bloody Mary.
Okay.
You're the dog.
All right, so you're hanging out in the lounge. Okay, so you guys with the briefcase.
Yes.
What's your plan?
I use mechanical repair in lieu of locksmith.
Yeah, I mean, now that you have it, you don't have to take the conventional way of opening the briefcase.
Yeah, we will unscrew the hinges or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, yeah. So a
It's-
point of mechanical
Well,
repair.
normally, if you're using a general as a investigative, it's 2.
Okay, yeah.
Just because the
So
balance is different.
Yeah.
2 points to get into the
He
thing.
only has one.
That's okay.
Nah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's no time rush
Did
here.
you give him 1 point of something?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Well, it's
I did not
it's a
anticipate
learning
that you
process.
guys would be unscrewing the hinges on a briefcase.
Oh, you
a
know.
slight turn.
It's got a plot. We'll do anything.
yeah.
I could use one point of firearm to shoot.
That would
That
totally
wouldn't
work.
raise any questions.
It would be very effective and very loud.
we get a pillow to stop it.
Just silence
Then we
it.
throw the pillow away. And then
Okay, so it comes open.
Yeah.
And this is what you guys find. There's some other papers.
Totally worth it.
Yep.
Scoundrels.
Oh my goodness. I have taken so much sensibility.
Me too.
April 20th. It's a letter. Oh my god, this is fancy paper.
Read it.
I will. On April 20th, 1932. Dear Mr. Fortescue, I am writing to inform you that I will be filing a formal complaint against your company and you personally for the depraved manner in which you have forced me into selling my farm. Upon reflection, I see that your harassment was both unforgivable and criminal. After having contact with Miss Halsey about your dealings with the other landholders, I am emboldened to take action. I have spoken with the other landowners, and after speaking with Miss Halsey, they too feel empowered to take legal action against you. I hope, sir, that you reconsider your manner of dealings in the future and consider making things right now by repaying the amount you swindled away from us. If you do not, we will be forced to pursue legal action. I think my offer is fair, and I hope you also see it that way. Regards, Mr. Lawrence O'Briss. So yes. We have a motive!
Yeah, no kidding.
Very good. So Interesting. So yeah, boy, they were idealists, just trying to protect things, with just acting like a secret conspiracy.
Shockingly unsinister.
Well,
Okay, so Renee, you're
The
hanging out,
means kind of-
and you see at one point Claire does kind of wander away from the group. She goes to the bar and orders herself a drink and just stands there for a moment and seems to be collecting herself.
All right. I'm gonna walk up to Claire and I'm going to, Claire, dear, how are you doing?
Uh-oh. It's been a day or two.
I saw that you were taken in to talk to the police yesterday.
Yes. Yes, just more of the same, unfortunately. They still believe that Hamilton did it.
Do you think that he did it?
I really don't know. I thought I knew.
But you are now questioning it?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I am.
Why? What has changed your mind?
Well, I mean, Jill, she was a complicated girl. Into let's just say that she had a way of finding mischief wherever she went.
Mischief like what?
Are you going to spend something?
Reassurance.
Sure, reassurance.
Okay. You do have leverage against her now.
Oh, you can interrogate her.
What do I have against her?
You know that she was part of some kind of organization that was up to something.
Secretly collecting information on people.
Well, I don't have interrogation, but I am going to lower my voice and say, I know a little bit about what's been going on with.
You do?
Yes,
You know about the gang?
the gang. Yes, indeed.
What a relief.
I only know a little bit. Can you? Is there anything else that?
What do you mean you only know a little bit?
I know there's a
told
gang
you?
involved.
I've been speaking to Mrs. Jameson.
She told you?
here comes the lies.
Here comes the boom.
She wouldn't have.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Why wouldn't she have told me?
What are you spending?
I don't know.
Do you have reassurance?
What?
Do you have reassurance left?
Yeah, I have reassurance.
That would work. Oral history might work.
She doesn't have one.
No.
What does-
Reassurance will
Have
work.
accounting.
Um,
That's going to be super useful. I
yeah,
think.
reassurance that that you already know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that you're safe to confide in because
Yes.
you're getting the strong impression that she really, really finally wants to talk to somebody and share what she knows.
Yeah, I'm going to be reassuring that I am safe. She
I
knows
just
that
so
I'm...
desperately need a friend to talk to. I can't talk to anyone.
It's
And
okay.
Mrs. J would kill me if she knew. Did she really talk to you? She didn't.
Well, she did. She
I
did.
can't believe that.
I'm a bit
The
of a...
old girl's finally cracking. Unbelievable. Well, so what did she tell you? Did she tell you all about the Ferguson gang?
No, she's only telling me bits and pieces, unfortunately. That's the frustrating
bits?
part. Well, she told me about the Ferguson game. She told me about that Fortescue.
She told you about Fortescue then?
She told
And
me
what Jill was up to?
not completely. She told me that she was collecting evidence
Oh,
against
yes, that she
Fortescue,
was,
but
that
she
she
didn't
was.
tell me exactly. I only know bits and pieces that he was swindling landowners.
Yes.
Piece
But-
of telepathy. There's that letter. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she only told me that Jill was collecting evidence against him.
Yes, that's
And
what she'd been out for weeks. That's what got her in trouble last year. But Mrs. J, well, and the whole gang, as a matter of fact, they, the Biddy and all of them, they had given her the assignment. She was just a junior member. It was her first assignment, and she was assigned to Mr. F. And she totally botched it, couldn't get a thing, and almost got fired over it. And but this season she came back and she was determined to redeem herself. She's been at it for days in the library, making phone calls, keeping records, although I don't know where the records are. Silly girl always had a funny way of hiding things. One time I found money in the toe of her shoe when I went to borrow them. One time found a list of the men that she had designs on behind a photograph. Crazy girl. I don't know where she was keeping all of her information, but she was in the library for hours, would lock herself in there, and all she would tell me is that she was really onto something.
With Fortescue?
Yeah, that she was finally going to have enough.
To bring him to justice.
Well...
Or to bring him to poverty.
You know how the gang is. It's not really about... I mean, it is about justice, but it's more about, public humiliation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vigilante. Women vigilante
so
researchers
Mr.
and
James
blackmailers.
has been taken care of then.
Oh, Mr. James, yes, that was last season's success. My, oh my, the humiliation was wonderful. That was one of our best successes. I was actually a part of that one, too,
What did you do?
Would this not have been in the papers? Like, have we not heard of the public embarrassment of Mr. James?
You guys...
I have history.
You guys have, okay, Renee's character, because she's the only one that currently has heard the actual name, has a vague sense that she has heard of the Ferguson gang before. That it's always in conjunction with some strange antics about donating to the National Trust and humiliating big land developers and making sure that they don't destroy historical sites. Sidebar, This is all true. Just saying. Like, all of this happened.
Whoa!
Yeah.
So do you
You're
think
like
that it's
anonymous
something...
before the internet, so...
So do you think that it's something to do with Mr. Fortescue that got Jill in so much trouble then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe. But why? He didn't know. He had no idea. She was deliberately staying away from him. She hadn't confronted him at all. She didn't have enough, she said. She was working on it and she was close, but she wasn't going to confront him until she had enough. She was so humiliated last season when she botched the whole deal.
What was she collecting, do you know?
I don't know. She was talking to people. Making phone calls.
It's curious.
Always did in the library, though. For hours at a time, she would lock herself in there.
Perhaps you should confer with your colleagues.
Well, thank you, dear girl. If you, is there anything else that you need to talk about?
Oh, no, I'm frankly quite glad to know that it's all out. I mean, I suppose that I should go to Mrs. J and let her know that we talked and that I've,
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Close the loop!
But why? It's such a relief to be able to talk in the open now.
I know. Well, it's not open. It's just she's talking to me. I think she's trying to bring me in or something, but she's not giving me full
Is she going to
information.
make you a junior member?
Possibly. I don't know.
Oh, that's a lovely idea. We have several events coming up. This next one is going to be an absolute blast. Masks and the whole deal.
Fantastic. It sounds fantastic.
Okay. 2 Saturdays from now, the gang is having the final meeting, and then it'll be the next Wednesday. You must be there.
Okay.
Non-British.
I'll tell Mrs. J that you're in.
I'll
No,
have the
no,
conspiracy
don't,
with the
because
side
I'm-
of masquerade ball.
I haven't made my final decision yet, and so I want to talk to her directly myself. Please just keep it on the down. Keep it quiet.
Terms not invented just yet.
Keep it quiet until I can talk to her.
Well, I'm so excited. Don't make me contain it too long. Make your decision so that we can tell her together.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you later. Bye. running away. So I go find the dude. I guess I go to your
Okay, so we
room.
need to get rid of the suitcase.
What are you going to do with that?
Let's
bit?
implicate Sally.
Sally's not around.
No, we could plant it in Jill's room, though.
He already suspects Lydia.
Yeah.
We don't want to make Lydia like
Dead.
a possible dead person.
Yeah.
That might cause a pretty
But if we
severe
hide it in Jill's
sensibility
room,
check.
the police would just think that she stole it from Fortescue. So
Jill's room is also Claire's room. Is Claire staying? Surely she's not staying in the
In
same
that
room.
girl's room.
but we know the door's unlocked.
As far as you know, she's still been staying in there.
So it'll definitely come back on Claire. Jill's dead.
Yeah, the police procedure was not as good as it was. Contaminated crime scene? What? No. Yeah, no. We could. Or we can just get rid of it. Just like hide it somewhere nearby.
Yeah. You could always give it to Mrs. Jameson.
Let's see.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
She wouldn't mind having it.
Okay.
You guys have sort of left her alone for a very long time.
Well, she seems
Very
intimidating.
interesting.
There are a lot of leads, alright? Look at all these.
Found this in the hallway.
Yeah, we found this in the hallway.
She led off with that whole no refund thing, and just all
We
that
just
little-
hated her from
She
then on.
is a badass. That is very true.
Yeah, no, I'll just give it to, let's see here. Well, just, you're respectable. You could hand it off to her.
Because I'm not going to be intimidated by her. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I don't
So
have
have you guys
reassurance.
met up and
I
like?
don't either, but I have intimidation.
Have you guys exchanged information?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
All right, so everybody knows
Yeah.
what Miss
yeah.
Lemon knows.
Like the Bloody Mary was just a chance for everything to like try to play the hungover while everything kind of calmed down for a minute,
Okay.
and then I would regroup with them.
Yeah,
Right,
you,
so
you
is
could just
someone gonna go
innocently
talk
like,
to Mr.
oh, I found
Jameson?
this in the hallway. Could you give it?
Okay, sure. Why not?
And I will go to the library and use library use to find out what book she hid that thing in.
Hey, I can go to the library and use some library use as well.
I also could do that. It's like it's
We're
important.
British as hell.
Yeah, you guys
well,
know
I'm
the
an avid
library.
reader, you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so is someone going to go talk to Mrs. Jameson?
That would be me.
Okay, and then you guys are going to the library?
Yes.
Okay. So, Jason.
I don't have anything in that category.
In the library.
You find Mrs. Jameson at the front desk. She's busy talking to people coming in and out, and just kind of busy doing paperwork and such. How do
Miss
you approach
Jameson,
her?
see here. I just happened
Yes,
to
sir,
stumble
hi.
across a briefcase. I wonder if anybody's been looking for this. I don't know if you if this is the sort of place to be bringing such things, but
Yeah, yes, I recognize that briefcase. I can take that. My good sir, where did you say you found it?
oh,
Open in the hallway.
the darndest thing. I got lost down your employees' corridor and found it outside of Jill's room, lying open.
You did you?
I did.
Open, you say.
I did.
And the contents?
Well, he wouldn't know. It was open.
Yes, that's,
There was nothing in it?
What are you insinuating, my dear woman?
I'm insinuating that you're bringing me a briefcase that has apparently been deconstructed by the hinges.
You would have screwed it back on.
I don't think it would be that easy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would still.
It really would.
Yeah.
Like if you get once you get the screws out.
Okay, well, at least you're not bringing it back with a bullet hole in it.
No, that's when we throw it in the ocean.
Moors, whatever.
Yeah. So.
Brighton's a beach town, right?
All right.
There's
So she eyes you suspiciously. It says, "Very well. Thank you for turning it in."
You're welcome. Good day, miss.
Okay.
Good day.
I say good day.
I shake it. Yeah. So
Okay.
we
So
will.
in the library, you guys are going in.
Yes.
It's unlocked.
All right. Good. This library should be unlocked.
We like
Yes.
libraries.
Yeah, so we're going to look through the books. I'll spend a point of library use to try and figure out where she would hide the message or her documents. I'm assuming in some unused, like some seldom checked out or read book, you know. So
Okay. You guys spend some minutes looking at the seldom checked out books and
Yeah.
don't find anything.
okay. What else?
Is there a phone in the library?
You see a phone sitting on a little side table. There's a chair there and a pen and a pad of paper and yeah.
Let's pencil rub that pad.
Yeah, we'll
and
pencil rub the
see
pad.
What number?
What number?
Yeah, presumably. I mean, or what message? What was last written on this pad?
Okay. So what was last written on the pad is some names and phone numbers. You do see what apparently looks like the name Mr. Obrus with a number next to it. You also see the name, or what you think is the name of Grange.
It's a little on the nose.
And there's a phone number with that one as well. And then you see one that says Luttrell. with a question mark next to it.
No number.
No number.
Okay. I would also feel under the underside of shelves, see if anything's been taped
And
up.
underneath the chair and underneath that table.
Tables,
Okay,
desks.
so are you guys going to spend a point of evidence collection to look around the table?
I will do that thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so after a few moments, Renee, Miss Lemon, you remember Claire's offhand comment about Jill being funny about hiding things, and
Behind
remember
pictures and
yes,
things.
and so you start looking around at the walls, and you see a picture that's hanging nearby the telephone of the lodge on the first day that it opened, and so you take that off the wall and turn it around. I got a thing. And stuck into the edges of the frame,
Another handout.
you find this.
Okay. Lawton Place. Mr. Evanson, an agent of Fortescue Development, came and told us that they would be building holiday camps all around us and showed us the plans. He said we could sell now for a fair price or wait until the land was surrounded and worth nothing. It seemed like we had no choice. They were already breaking ground on the land to the north of us. Obrist Farm, Mr. Obrist. I'd been thinking about selling, but wasn't wanting to till my son was old enough to decide if he wanted to take over the farm or go to college to be that barrister he's always talking about becoming. Always fancied himself something more than a farmer. Well, when the Fortescue people came around, and I turned them down at first, but they wouldn't take no for an answer. Said I'd be sorry. They was right for sure. All I'm saying is that it seemed a great coincidence that the next season I lost as many animals as I did. Even had a fire that made no sense. Police say I was getting too old and was losing track of my numbers. Nonsense, I say. Sackville House, Mr. Grange. Oh, the Fortescue people said they would pay what we were asking at first, but then they sent surveyors and agents from the Land Use Office and Agricultural Department, and before we knew it, they were sending us bills for improvements and land use violations and saying our land wasn't worth half of what we asked. They said they would make us a deal and assume all responsibility for the penalties and repairs if we dropped our price to what they asked. Luttrell's Lodge - owner telephone ? The Grange at Ramsgate owner telephone ? Who else ?
Alright.
Documents.
Okay, so we know why he's doing it. We have... I don't suppose any of those people would be here that we talked to.
Well, that's a good point. We can't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could.
You do have Mr. Obrist's phone number.
Yes.
And Mr. somebody else's.
We do have another number?
Yeah, we had Obrist and somebody else.
Alright, I'll call that number.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
so you're calling Mr. Obrist?
Yeah. Oh, no, well, you said we had two numbers?
Yeah, Mr. Grange.
Oh, we had Grange.
Yeah, that was what was written on the pad of paper
Okay.
after you did the rubbing.
Okay. I'll call Obrist first.
Okay, he picks up. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Obrist.
Yes?
We're going to ask, have you heard the news about Jill?
Jill.
Yes.
Oh, Jill, Miss Halsey.
Yes.
No?
Well, unfortunately, she passed away recently. We were trying to piece
Passed
together...
away?
Yes.
How?
Foul play suspected.
It was that bastard.
Fortescue?
Clarify.
Could you clarify that?
Yes, either him or one of his minions. Couldn't take the heat, has to take it out on a poor girl. Unbelievable.
Yes.
We'll nail him now.
I wouldn't suppose. We're here at Brighton Lodge, and you should probably call Chief Inspector Shimply and give a statement to that effect.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you. He is staying here, so.
This is
Who?
something like
Mr. Fortescue?
Yes.
He's there?
Yes.
I'm coming.
First call, Chief Inspector Simply.
Well, don't do anything rash. Oh, you hung up.
Yeah.
So.
this is getting like conspiracy theorist
Yeah.
level full over here.
She led a complicated life.
Because of Sally, who's the red pig.
Yeah.
Sally and the Red Sally and the Red Biddy next on Fox.
Also the
Okay.
name of my high school ska band.
So, yeah, you guys have the testimony of Mr. Obrist along with the letter that he sent to Mr. Fortescue.
Yeah.
You have Jill's handwritten and hidden notes. So what's your next move?
We'll call up Grange too.
Okay. Yeah, he answers.
Hello, Mr. Grange.
Yes?
Have you spoken to, I'm a
Concerned citizen.
concerned citizen asking about Jill Hazley?
Halsey,
yes, Halsey.
Yes, what about her?
You haven't heard the news then?
No?
She passed most unexpectedly. Foul play
Oh, you're
suspected.
kidding!
Yes, no.
That's terrible.
It is.
No, I was supposed to have a meeting with her.
Oh, did she?
No, she didn't show up. Now I know why.
Oh, did
That's
she?
terrible.
Yes, this is true. What has she been talking to you about?
Oh, you mean why were we
Yes.
having a meeting?
Yes.
She was taking statements.
Taking statements in regards to
The Fortescue Development Company.
Fortescue Development Company.
Yeah, she'd been in touch with several of us actually. I think at least 3, and she had more names that she was after. But I know that she was taking statements about the dealings of the Fortescue Company with the landowners here in the Brighton area, and the company's designs on destroying our sites and the way that they handled the business. All nasty, nasty business. One way or another, they swindled us out of our homes, out of our land, and out of our hard-earned money. Unbelievable.
Well, it seems the police are investigating this murder here at the Brighton Lodge.
Well, I should hope so.
Yes, they have arrested a suspect, though, a man named Maxwell Hamilton. Have you ever heard of him?
Oh, no, can't say as I have.
Yes, but Mr. Fortescue is staying here as well.
You're kidding.
No, I would never kid about such a thing.
Well, that's your man, then.
Well, perhaps could you come down here and give a statement to the police? I'm sure they would love to hear from someone who is speaking to Jill.
Well, yes, I'll go right away.
Yes, thank you.
Who am I asking for?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. The line's breaking up. What? Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I did that.
Fine.
It's just my reflex.
Right.
Like, deny
Don't
Black
give your
Ops.
name.
Yeah, Black Ops. They
Okay,
have power
so
over at your name.
These guys seem pretty reliable. You can assume that they will, in fact, contact the police and give their
you should
statements.
contact your brother-in-law and tell him that we have another suspect.
Yes, okay.
He's
he
probably
doesn't.
around.
Yeah, is he?
Sergeant Matthews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go. Can I take that?
Yes.
I'm going to go and I'm going to take that to Sergeant Matthews and say, Kenneth, I found this while looking around in the library, and I think it might have something to do with Jill. Claire mentioned that she hung out in there quite a bit, and it seems, well, it's all just too much for my head, but I'm sure that you, as a smart police officer, can
That'd be
understand,
Okay.
can figure this out. So here you go.
Okay, so he looks it over and reads it. Oh, yes, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But how can you be sure that the girl wrote it? It doesn't have her name on it.
If only we had something in her handwriting.
Perhaps we do.
I don't know. I just know that Claire was hanging out there. I figured that
Well, who are you pointing the finger at then? Are you supposing this Mr. Obers didn't like her poking her nose in the business?
No,
What's happening?
Dear, have you read it? Read the notes. If you do your police work,
Oh. Miss...
it says Fortescue on there.
B, I'm
several
not sure what you're
times.
getting at.
It says Fortescue on there several times. It seems that there's some bad dealings that Mr. Fortescue was doing. I think he might be a patron at this hotel.
Oh, yes, he's staying here. I've looked at the registry.
I'm
In
wondering
fact, we
if
had a
this,
chat with this man.
I'm wondering if this has something to do with
Was he at the time of the murder?
Jill's death. I'm just wondering.
Oh, really?
He seems a bit suspicious.
You think? Seemed like a stand-up guy to me.
If Jill did in fact write this,
As a stand-up guy, I can testify that he is not.
if Jill did in fact write this, and Mr. Fortescue knew that she was collecting, well, it seems to me, evidence against him and his company, wouldn't that be a motive?
But evidence of what? Why would she be doing such a thing?
Again, have you read it?
If Claire told you, you can reveal Claire's information about it.
No, what? Claire's information about what?
About the gang, about the whole idea of humanity.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't like bust the secret ring of, effectively blackmailers.
Can I see this? Can I see the note? Can I see those?
Okay, all right. So here's what it comes down to. Like, he's willing to entertain the idea because he's never thought that Hamilton was the guy in the first place. Yeah, but the problem is that it doesn't. It's just circumstantial.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way to say that this was...
Well, these people are going to show up here in a little bit. I'm just trying to plant the seeds.
Right, but all they're going to say is that Jill had contact with him.
No, Mr. Oberst is like, it's Fortescue, he's there.
Yeah,
he killed him.
He thinks so because he got swindled, but it's still circumstantial.
Well, fine. It's circumstantial.
Yeah, no, it's like
Unfortunately,
Sergeant Matthews.
the police are not.
Yeah, Sergeant Matthews is totally willing to entertain the idea, and he said, "Well, I'll look into it more. I don't know what I'll come up with, B, but I'll certainly look."
There we go. Here you go.
Okay, so
Did you ask him what they if they asked Fortescue where he was the evening of the murder?
Does he have an alibi?
Why do you think he's such a stand-up guy? Did he have an alibi?
Yes, everybody said they saw him that night, and that he went to bed before everybody else. Hardly had a thing to drink, actually. Went to bed about 9:30, they said.
Since when does bed classify as an alibi?
Well, no one saw him anywhere around the girl the entire season. They'd had no contact.
Last season he did.
All of last season, this was the girl, this was the man that Jill was fawning after, and suddenly...
Oh, really?
Your
Police
work is something else.
Claire could confirm that.
Claire could tell you that. Just a simple conversation with the girl, and you could find out all
so
of
could
the
Trevor.
men that Jill has been fawning after season after season.
So you're saying that Mr. Fortescue would have done this out of jealousy because she was no longer interested in him?
All right.
I feel like maybe this is a subtle communication that we don't have enough yet.
Maybe.
Subtle.
Or
It's
that
a
it's
possibility.
circumstantial.
You should think about it.
No. I agree, B. I will look into it. I'll talk to the girl, Claire.
I mean, out of character, outside of revealing the secret conspiracy, which is her motive and his motive, I don't know how we could do it.
We could try to establish. I mean, we've got.
Once the farmer show up,
motive.
Yeah.
We could try to establish means and opportunity.
Yeah. Well, okay, so he went to bed at 9:30, which gave him plenty of time to get out there and
Right.
kill her.
So we should go search the area around around the windows of his room.
Yeah.
Someone other than me should do that.
In case he finds you lurking again.
I could do that. I have 2 through.
Okay, so and
1 point.
I mean, you always have 2 options. You either can try to convince the police by amassing enough evidence, or you can always try to get a confession.
Let's see here. Yeah, we could. I do have interrogation.
Swear to me.
I mean, you guys haven't actually talked to Mrs. Jameson very much, or Mr. Fortescue.
Okay. Actually, yeah, no, I'll go to Mrs. Jameson.
I guess this is a genre where you interact with the criminal before you accuse them.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing.
Not really used to doing that in a role-playing game.
The villain shows up,
Remember your
immediately
genre.
shoot in face. That is the typical RPG thing.
It's true. This is a challenge. It's stretching us.
Remember at the final scene of every Agatha Christie story ever.
Right, but you interact with them before that.
Right. So you're going to go talk to Mrs. Jameson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, it's your lodge is doing very well, but I have to say, I worry for its reputation.
And why is that?
Well, I mean, you have murder happening. That's certainly not good for a business. One of your employees, and it seems that the murder will go unpunished because.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's clear that Maxwell didn't do it. He would have, as a mystery writer, he would have known that Jill's attentions were seasonal. He had no reason to do that. But the previous paramour, Mr. Fortescue, is here.
She looks at you suddenly.
Yeah. It's interesting what you find around here. You read things in the library, you find letters that talk about land dealings and investigations.
Mr. Baker, I can't help but assume that you were implying something.
Yes. That you
And
were
what would that be?
You're withholding information from the police about your own dealings with him.
After all, sir, aren't we all?
True. But you have more to lose than I do. You have this nice, great business and your little social sewing circle.
My sewing circle, as you say.
Yes.
What exactly do you think that is?
Well, I
Wouldn't be so bold as to presume.
I wouldn't be so much presumed. I do know you do a lot. You have your employees do some extracurricular activities, and that you are engaged in clandestine warfare of a sort against land developers for reasons I cannot even guess at. But you are letting an innocent man go to jail because you don't want to reveal your own secrets, and you know this from the beginning. And I would like. It is possible for if you. I don't care if your circle is revealed or not. I just want the right man to go to jail. I don't feel that's too presumptuous to go to, and I think there will be shortly some farmers here coming here to accuse him.
They're coming here?
Yes. Someone called them and let them know that their contact Jill had been foully murdered. Causing a ruckus.
Someone called, huh?
Yes.
What are you spending?
I can spend interrogation.
Okay. Yeah, no, that works
Leverage.
at this point. You have a ton of leverage on her.
Yeah.
She quickly picks up on the fact that you have obviously been in the cabin or somehow convinced Claire to tell you. So, under the massive guilt of the death of Jill, she finally cracks, and you see her physically sag, and she begins to talk. She tells you that, yes, she is a member of the Ferguson gang, and they meet here twice a month, and their primary mission is to thwart the developmental sprawl and destruction of historical sites that they love. They do this mostly by raising money and donating it to the National Trust, but occasionally the antics get a little more carried away, and they will sabotage building sites, or their favorite is sabotaging the reputations of the developers themselves. And Mr. Fortescue has been a primary target for a long time, but has evaded them, and Jill botched the plan last season because she wasn't able to obtain enough, but she knew that Jill was working on it this time, and kept saying that she was close, that she almost had enough, and she knew that Jill was up to this and was beginning to worry for her safety if Mr. Fortescue found out. But Jill kept reassuring her that there was no way that he knew. And she just recently decided that maybe, just maybe, Mr. Fortescue had, after all, killed Jill because she saw a letter come into the lodge that was put in his mailbox with the name of Mr. Obrus on it. And she realized that Mr. Obrus was one of the people that Jill had been talking to, and she was worried that they had made contact and that Mr. Fortescue would put the pieces together and respond.
Well, Mr. Obrus will do that.
He's coming here, you say?
Yes, and he will be able to link them together. Of course, Jill could have just been acting on her own.
That's right. I worry, though, that it's all circumstantial.
Well, yes, that would be linking Mr. Fortescue. He was here, but he said he went to bed at 9:30, so he would have had...
Which he did. I actually saw him myself go into his room.
Yes, but he could have left later. I mean, she did leave at 11 o'clock, and they must have been drunk, or he could have waited until Maxwell dropped her off and then come back into her room, creeping in.
I suppose that's possible.
But how...
how can we prove it?
Yes. That's you know the hotel better than anyone. Would anyone have seen him at that hour? Any employee? Or would he have any access, any means of egress in there from his room to her?
No. Well, at that time of night, he could have gotten there. Everyone's usually down in the lodge or a lounge or in the room already.
Okay.
Sorry, I know I'm talking out of turn, but the thing we're ignoring is the possibility of Claire being an accomplice. He could have killed her in their room if she's in on the deal, if she's jealous enough.
I don't think she would have revealed nearly as much as she would have if she was.
It's fair cop.
Yeah,
I just-
and because
it seemed worth
she
to throw
wants
out there.
Trevor, but of course, she could have, because then if Jill's out of the way, then
Right.
Trevor's hers. So, according to her logic.
So Mrs. Jameson interrupts and says, but the thing that I am most worried about is that if this is true, that we're going to lose our chance. Mr. Fortescue is scheduled to check out this afternoon.
Well, we could either try and make him confess to the police, or, which seems unlikely, unless we think his confessing would save him from an angry farmer, perhaps, with a shotgun.
Farmer with a shotgun.
Yeah, farmer with a shotgun. Or we can piece that together. So, could I make a forensic spin to try and figure out how we could prove he left from his room to hers? Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll do that.
What are you doing? Are you just kind of laying out all?
Forensic reconstruction. Neither murder timeline. Look at the blueprints or the floor plans to figure it out.
So you can tell by piecing together people's testimonies, you can tell that the timeline would work.
Yeah.
Because Jill and Hamilton left the lounge. At about 11 o'clock. And Claire did not leave until about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so there was plenty of a time gap. Now, people are walking around, but not frequently. So it would not have been hard for him to slip out and pretend that he was going to smoke a cigar on the patio to any passerby, but actually slip up the back staircase to where their hallway was.
Okay.
And there wouldn't have been very many people around at that point.
Right.
Does anybody have a roll history to try to collect that?
Well, I mean...
What do you mean, collect that?
Well, we already have that.
Fair enough.
But there's no smoking gun. There's no...
Yeah.
With forensic spin, there's no...
There's no smoking hands.
No, I mean, because there's no weapon that you're looking for. Now, the smoking gun would be if you could find defensive wounds on him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And...
If she wasn't asleep, then yeah.
Right.
Let's... Damn.
By George, I think he's got something.
Well, it would have been fun to have Trevor engage him in a tennis game and get him to change out of business clothes and into smaller clothes that were moving around.
He does not engage in the tennis matches. Remember, he is only ever there on business.
We could use the farmer as leverage to get him to reveal his wounds.
Get into a boxing match and see if his sleeves pull up enough.
No, just the farmer shows up, accuses him of murder. He says, "I couldn't do that." We bring in the circumstantial evidence. Well, you can't prove that. Well, reveal your arms. You have defensive wounds. You clearly did it. And
that's a jump.
Well, I mean, at first ask him if he has any wounds on his body, and then make him reveal it. So, because if he lies,
I suppose it's very in keeping with the tropes of the.
And you guys, you can also pile on the evidence at this point. You have several things.
Well, as long as you're willing to testify that you realized poor Jill was going on this crusade, and you didn't
acting alone, obviously.
Yeah, acting alone, obviously.
Yes. My one condition would be to not reveal the members of the gang for obvious reasons.
I have no interest in that. I only want to see a free man, a man freed, and the right man punished.
So she's on board.
Okay, so we can get to wait for the farmer to show up, or put Ferguson on. Does anybody else have interrogation or intimidation?
I've got 3 each.
You got 3 of each?
I have a 0.
So we can get Sergeant Matthews together, wait for Oberst to show up.
And now, if you're going for a confession, it would be much more likely that he's going to do that in the presence of a police officer.
Much more likely? Or
much less likely, sorry.
Well, yeah, but 3-point interrogation. Swear to me.
Yeah.
Hang him by his toes until he talks.
Well, again, just think, just a little bit of deception. Well, if you're in police custody, obviously the angry lynch mob that's surely been raised won't come out and kill you.
Right.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Big showdown. Wait for the farmer to show up. Get him for Fortescue and Matthews and Obrist all together.
Is he at this time? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Last we saw him, he slammed his door.
Yeah, no, he's in his room.
Okay. Well,
He didn't go looking for his briefcase or nothing.
Yeah, last you know, it would.
Well, wouldn't Jameson have known if she had the briefcase?
Well, he hasn't checked it out yet.
But he hasn't come to her to ask where his briefcase is?
No. Nope.
he is in such a fit, he has not yet realized it.
He probably knows the letter's gone.
He failed his sensibility check.
Yeah, he's probably packing frantically and figuring out
Yeah.
how to bolt.
Okay, so...
So Mr. Ober shows up.
Yeah.
He is
Get him to...
every bit of a farmer.
Yeah.
Dressed in his finest, which is not very fine. But he is hot and ready to do some confrontation.
Yeah.
So just tell me where it is, man.
Question, is Shimply on the scene today?
No, Sergeant
Okay.
Matthews is.
So we should probably get him down here.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Get
Yeah.
Obrist,
Okay.
Matthews, and
Yeah.
Fortescue together.
Okay.
And then let Jason dump all his points.
Right.
Go
Okay,
all that.
Well,
so so you can
There was a
there's
firefight.
enough that if you ask Sergeant Matthews, he will call
Yeah.
Shimply down here. And he comes bustling in. What is this all this about?
What's all
About
this
to-
then?
Yeah. Yes, exactly like that. Yeah, we're about to close the deal with Hamilton. So close to confession. This better be good.
We recovered some documents in the library. We stumbled
Documents?
across. Yes, written by Jill. And Mr. Obrist can explain. She was helping him investigate a Mr. Fortescue who had defrauded the Obrist. So let Obrist give
Okay.
his righteous son of the salt of the earth,
Right, so he goes into his personal rant about the
Yeah.
debauchery of the Fortescue Development Company.
Exactly. And then,
Well, I say that's quite an idea.
yes. So show the rest of the evidence that we have assembled, the letter. But Mr. Fortescue, there he is, or wait for Mr. Fortescue to show up. Or
Okay, so you're waiting for him to walk through the
well,
lobby?
I was trying to get. We'll go to his room. We should go to his room and find out.
Okay.
You let him.
So are you having everybody go?
Oh yeah, no, big finale scene.
Yeah.
And then we'll bring him back to the
Yeah.
the lounge or the library.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really more of a. Is there a drawing room?
There can be a
Really
drawing
needs to
room.
be-
Yeah,
Oh,
drawing room. We'll get him
There's
with
a
all.
Observatory
fireplace,
might
right.
be just a bit better.
Okay, so
Also a
you're
good
sending
choice.
everybody. Like the
Yeah, we have to have the
sergeant,
big
chief
finale. Yeah,
inspector,
yeah.
But everybody to his room?
No, to the drawing room.
Okay, all right. So they're going and waiting in
Yeah.
there. So how are you getting Fortescue to the drawing room?
Fortescue, knock on the door. Your briefcase has been found.
It has?
In the drawing room.
It's in the drawing room.
Oh,
Yes.
well, take me to it, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So he walks in
Yeah.
and stops abruptly as he sees the array of people.
You
Yeah.
might be wondering why we've asked you all here today.
What is this about then? Where's the briefcase? Someone has stolen. Chief Inspector, someone
Yes.
I've been robbed, and this man here, he is the likely culprit. I found him under my bed. I'm sure that Mrs. Jameson reported it.
Does Miss Jameson even acknowledge that? Or she's like,
She just stares blankly
yeah.
in the Pupfish routine.
So as I was enjoying the library, we stumbled across a letter written.
Letter?
by- yes, Jill.
Series of notes, actually.
Yes, about her investigation of Mr. Fortescue's. So I'll recap that. So Mr. Fortescue, it appears that you would have motive to do injury to Jill, for she.
Motive?
Yes, you were her. She was with you
Paramour.
last summer.
Oh, it was nothing but a silly fling.
Yes.
You know how girls are.
But then Mr. Obrist wrote you a letter. Mr. Obrist, did you not write him a letter explaining how...
You're Obrist.
Yeah, huh?
He
Well-
says that to Mr. Obrist.
Yeah.
Fortescue has never actually met him in
Oh,
person.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. He always sent his lackeys and his minions.
Nice.
You're Obrist,
Mine's
I take it.
We doing good?
Yeah, we got 18 minutes. So Mr. Obrist, you can corroborate that. And that you told Mr. Fortescue that Jill was helping you, did you not?
That's right.
We have the letter right here.
I wrote you a letter
Yeah.
just earlier this week.
So now you would know that Jill, the woman you thought was, flirting with you, was trying to learn your secrets. That would be enough to...
And what of it? What could she do after all? One silly girl with silly ideas.
silly ideas that would cost you your fortune.
Who's going to believe her?
They would believe Mr. Obrist and his solicitor.
And Mr. Grange. And Mr. Luttrell.
Evanson.
Yes, we have this notepad that she wrote on, and she had the other names.
He swallows.
Yes. So, Mr. Fortescue, could you perhaps tell your alibi for the night of the murder?
My alibi?
Yes.
I was in bed. Everyone knows that. I've told everyone I was in bed.
So, has
9:30.
anything unusual happened between now and then?
Unusual.
Yes.
Yes, this man was under my bed. I saw him there.
Did anything? You picked him out of your bed, and that was it?
And then I was robbed.
Oh, okay. So, Chief Inspector, Jill, when she was slain, do you think, did she perhaps fought back against her attacker?
Oh, you mean the girl? Would she have fought back? Oh, most assuredly.
Oh,
she was
yes.
very definitely awake. It was obvious. She had the flesh under her nails.
Oh, my. Mr. Fortescue, could you please remove your jacket and roll up your sleeves?
What is this about?
Well, this would, if you're innocent, as you surely proclaim you are.
I am not removing any article of my clothing unless I am compelled by a court of law.
Chief Inspector, would you agree that there would be probable cause to look at his person? For at least his arms.
I am afraid, sir, that under the circumstances we would have to have something more substantial than we currently have.
Point of interrogation, an innocent man would have nothing to lose by revealing the condition of his person.
You're spending a point of interrogation?
Yeah.
Okay.
The officer could stand right behind him and just like
Right.
spit 3 points of intimidation.
Okay.
I
Jason
simmer
could just
in
be
his
cleaning
vague
his
direction.
guns.
Everyone
many
is
times.
looking menacingly.
Yeah.
Okay, so he slowly, ever so slowly, starts removing his top coat. The slow as molasses kind of version.
That's honestly, is he like deer in headlights? Like
He is really deer in the headlights. His brain is scrambling at this point, desperately trying to find some reasonable explanation that he could give. But then the strangest thing happens. Mrs. Jameson stands up.
yeah.
And stands immediately in front of him and slaps him across the face as hard as she possibly can, and says to him, you knew from last season, you knew who we were and what we were trying to do. Okay, so she outs herself under the weight of the guilt and the fact that this is not going according
British.
to
We all make sensibility checks.
Oh, woman slapping him out. Oh my god.
I did not pass. I got a 3.
Why? So you take
I'm
like 1 point.
scandalized.
Yeah.
I don't want to join this gang after all.
Really only just out of shock. So at this point, the chief constable sort of bucks up and is like, what now? What? No, what about what?
What?
And so at this point,
What's all this then?
he is to the point where his coat is off, and he starts to roll up his sleeves, and lo and behold, there are indeed scratch marks.
I snap a photograph.
Oh,
You
spin
do
the
a
point of
photograph.
photography. Yeah.
And he starts talking.
Yeah.
So
One long,
It was- yeah.
incredibly
And-
unbroken... sorry.
Yes.
And this is what he says: meddling in men's business. You women know nothing of what you're doing. You're against progress. You want to keep your precious historical sites to yourselves and not make way for our modern times. Backward and headstrong women. She deserved what she got. Banging on about the desecration of national history. Right nonsense. So he's pissed. And then he seems to sort of emotionally slump and starts to talk about Jill. I knew she was involved in that wicked gang of women bent on ruining me. How could she? She pretended she loved me for so long, wicked, deceiving little creature. All the time she was plotting and scheming, humiliating me. I did. I went to talk to her. I just went to talk. I was angry. She was drunk, not unusual. I saw her leave with that fop author. I couldn't believe it. Her latest victim, I suppose. I followed them. I saw when they went upstairs. He walked her to her room and left. I waited a few minutes and then knocked on the door. I was just going to talk to her, have a good row and demand that she leave off. But she was intolerable, calling me an old fool, telling me I was ruined, and I knew that she was right. She had enough to go to the police now and had the landowners on her side. Mr. Ogris nods. So I grabbed her. She was a small girl and it didn't take much. It was just a moment. It was just a moment. I didn't know what to do. I knew Claire would come back any minute. Things were shutting down downstairs. So I picked her up and I put her in the laundry cart. Terrible, I know. Terrible, terrible. I'm ruined. She ruined me. And the police put cuffs on him.
And scene.
And scene.
My first pot boiler.
So that is it. You guys nabbed the correct guy.
Oh,
got the
yeah.
confession, got the everything. Well done.
Nice. This
this was
awesome.
great.
This was great.
You guys like it?
Yes. No. This was this is like a first RPPR, like an investigation solved without violence.
Much.
Yeah. Well, a slap. All right. Yeah. And the sensibility rule was a cool idea, very in genre. The board, everything. Oh man, this was
I
great time.
That Sally is the red biddy.
Yeah.
She may be.
Clearly, according
What do you guys
to the
think? This is your
board.
first time playing Trail of Cthulhu and the Gumshoe system and this adventure.
System in general?
Yeah.
Like?
Yeah, I don't think I quite totally understand it, but I like it.
Yeah. You choose how you get clues, and then you have to figure it out. So, yeah, cool. All right.
That is all.
We'll see you guys next time. We're finished with 10 minutes left on the disc.